insights, and an eye on taxes, I'm here to help you make the most of your money. I'm Laura Maxwell, and I'm a dedicated Fidelity advisor. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC, member NYSE, SIPC.
Lowe's has the brands pros trust to get the job done. You can now shop new Catalyst fencing solutions and save big when you do. 10% off when you buy in bulk. Plus, save $180 on a DeWalt 12-inch dual bevel sliding compound miter saw. Now just $449. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 5/6 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
He steps to the mic with a boom, ping, ping. Wisdom sharper than a beast's fierce sting. Words like fireflies that light the night. He turns the dark into blazing bright. Boom, ping, ping, the truth takes wing. Milwaukee's voice, let the city sing. Boom, ping, ping, hear the freedom ring. Sherwin's the king, oh, the airwaves king. Shake the ground, unveils the truth where lies abound. Politics, justice, social streams. He molds the chaos into dreams. No silence here, just the sound of change. Boom, ping, ping, rearrange. Boom, ping, ping, the truth takes wing. Milwaukee's voice, let the city sing. Boom, ping, ping, hear the freedom ring. Sherwin's the king, oh, the airwaves king. Through the static, through the noise, he amplifies the people's voice. Boom, ping, ping, like a heartbeat's call. He's got the wisdom to break down walls. Yeah. Da, 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 da.
Welcome to the program. Today is Tuesday, April 28th, 2026. Yesterday, I tried my level best to provide objective fact and information about the shooting that took place at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. I didn't want to seem biased. I didn't want my fundamental distrust for this administration to come through in my reporting. I just wanted to share with you all of the bits and pieces of publicly available information so you all could make your own decision. And I assure you, there is a lot of publicly available information because a lot of the American media were there, and there were cameras rolling, and people were taking selfies and pictures. And a lot of those pictures found their way to the internet on different sites, et cetera, et cetera. But I didn't want to just assume that something as serious as an assassination attempt, and that guy got really, really close. But I did not want to assume something like that was staged because there's got to be something that is still sacred in this country. Things that you just don't mess around with, things that you don't fool with, things that you don't mock or mimic. Because if we begin to cry wolf on assassination attempts, somebody is going to be legitimate, somebody is going to be serious, and someone could potentially get hurt or worse if we just think that they are all staged. Because I really didn't want to believe that, but I can't let facts get in the way of whatever I might be feeling. If the facts are saying, look, there was something very odd about this, then I got to go with the facts. Now I can speculate and I can guess and I can fill in the blanks and, I can say things like, well, no one would ever stage such a thing because there's too much risk. Credibility is at risk. But I'm not entirely sure if this administration is preoccupied with credibility. I'm just not sure. But again, their administration, the policy aims and goals, the cabinet secretaries, the political positions, even where the president goes to reiterate his message, none of that is aimed at my political ilk. Very little of it is. So he's got an entire administration that's aimed at a small and getting smaller group of Americans, and I am not in that group, and I'm glad that I'm not in that group. I have some information I'm going to share with you today that I think, personally, I could be wrong, and if I'm wrong, you all will tell me, damning, credible evidence that it was, in fact, staged. I'm going to share with you in a little while, not yet, everybody relax, cool your jets, a photograph that fills in all of the blanks, because a lot of people want to think that it was manufactured and it was staged. Like, what's the reasons and what's the rationale? Because I was unclear as to what the reasoning and the rationale would be. And you could just assume things like, oh, Trump wants the attention, or maybe Trump didn't want to be at the White House Correspondents' Dinner because this was the first one he ever attended as president. And oh my goodness, look what happens. They couldn't even have their meal. The Washington Hilton said they donated the 2,600 meals they couldn't serve to a local domestic violence shelter because they didn't even get a chance to get the food out. And the menu was steak and lobster. So shout out to the unfortunate people who happened to be in a domestic violence shelter, but at least they ate good for one night. And I don't want to engage in conspiracy theories because there are too many. And people will create a conspiracy theory when they don't know the facts, or if the facts supersede their critical thinking or their ability to understand. I don't like to engage in conspiracy, but the thing about this administration, it probably isn't a conspiracy. That's probably what's going on. But we've been gaslit so much. But I'm going to prove to you, at least from my vantage point, because I was poring over photos. As time goes on, as you will see with any investigation, the information that we get initially, very limited. Maybe it's filtered. A lot of it is embargoed because there's an investigation going on. You don't want to leak too much information. You don't want to give the defense of the suspect too much ammunition. So they kind of keep some of the information close to the vest. But then there's this explosion maybe 24, 36 hours after the event where you're just flooded with additional information and more people are speaking up, and then witnesses come out of the woodwork, and then people do their photo dumps. Because now every photograph that was taken at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, in my opinion, is evidence because it shows a different angle. And I caught an angle, and I don't know if anybody else caught this angle. I think I should get a Nobel Prize, or at least someone else who's received a Nobel Prize should give me theirs. What's another award I can win? A Pulitzer? A Peabody? What's the EGOT? An Emmy, a Grammy, an Oscar, and a Tony. I should be an EGOT winner for the photograph that I discovered. I don't know if anybody else on the entire planet of the Earth. I'm almost going to say planet of the apes. Some of y'all behavior. Yikes. I don't know if anybody has discovered what I discovered. I'm going to reveal something to you on this show that you have never seen before, and it's going to win me an American Music Award, probably. At least a Golden Globe because I'm going to expose something in a photograph that I saw. I'm going to prove to you the whole damn thing was staged. Now, I want to save that conversation because it's got to be its own complete, like, series of segments. But you know me, I can't hold water. I'll introduce a topic that I want to discuss, and I'll say something like, oh, later on in the show, I'm going to discuss this at, the 11 o'clock hour. You know damn well I can't wait that long. I start leaking my own information before I'm ready to. So I have, just know that I have all of the information, all of the proof that you need so you can tell your MAGA uncles and aunts, nieces, nephews, and cousins that it was, in fact, a staged attempt. The unfortunate thing is there's no consequences. I live in a world in which, for certain tiers of people, there's no consequence. I lived in fear of consequence for a good part of my life. I didn't want to mess up. I don't want to make a mistake because I knew that I would be held accountable. And the ways in which I would be held accountable sometimes would be excruciating. So I was very risk averse. Now it seems like if you're on the real high end, upper tier of society, wealth and power and influence, you can have sex with kids. And it's like a minor inconvenience. There can be millions and millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of pages of documents where your name is mentioned so frequently that they have to remove the word don't because it could mean Don T in the documents. And yes, that's a true fact. And it's just like inconvenient for, 4 or 5 weeks, and then it goes away. But then there's another cohort of humans. I'm going to make this local now. And it seems that they are free from consequence as well. Well, a couple of examples. We've had a number of conversations on the show about education and our public school system here, which is a very worthy topic. It is always timely. And sometimes the actions and behaviors of the young people in the schools go without punishment. Sometimes they're suspended. Sometimes they're expelled. But I don't know who we were talking to. Maybe it was last week. I think it was a teacher that called. It was a teacher called in and said, oh, yeah, kids will fight in third period in the classroom, tear the classroom up, flip over desks, and they're back in the classroom by fourth or fifth hour. There's no consequences. We had a series of what we call street takeovers. I kind of want to keep my opinions to myself because I found some really weird enjoyment in seeing people doing donuts in intersections with muscle cars because I'm a car guy. I'm thinking like, oh, that's cool. But, at the same time, boo, that's bad. You're not supposed to do that. Including I don't want to call it a takeover. And they called it a takeover at Moody Park. They showed aerial footage because there was a drone flying around at the takeover at Moody Park. And I think that one made the news because I believe somebody got shot, but it was like 15 kids. Oh, shut up. A takeover. 15 kids. So you put 15 black kids in the same public park and now it's the takeover. But I think that harkens back to there was some manufactured crime to where I should have looked this up. If there's more than 4 people standing on a corner, the police can arrest and search them because it's a gang. I'm not kidding you. There was a law, I don't know if it was a local law, if it was a national law, that if there's more than like 3 or 4 people, typically African-American men, standing in one spot, then the police could have like arrest and search powers because that technically defined a gang. I think that they're doing the same thing with these quote-unquote takeovers. Whenever you have an unmanageable amount of black people, it's a takeover. But I also look through the lens of what white people think is acceptable diversity. Diversity is okay when it comes to white people as long as there's not too many blackies and brownies. Just enough to say you're not racist, but if your intention in adding blackies and brownies, first of all, don't any of you say blackies and brownies. I can say that. You cannot say blackies and brownies. But if your intention as a whitey to add blackies and brownies is to use that as the reason why you're not racist, you're still racist. Because you'll never let the blackies and the brownies outnumber you. And so whenever you have an unreasonable number of the Blackies and the Brownies, you call it a takeover, but 15 kids at Moody Park is not a takeover. But there's no real consequences for most of the young people that are participating in some of these activities that we find troublesome. With the 12 or so takeovers that took place in different places around the city of Milwaukee. Granted, the city of Milwaukee is not huge, but big enough. 96.1 square miles. Don't forget our 0.1. That's like when somebody says, I'm 5'4.5". 96.1 square miles. There was about a dozen or so takeovers. There were, 7 arrests? 1 car was towed. 7 citations. 1 arrest. I think that's what it was. So that's not a lot of consequence considering how many folks were involved. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a break. I really want to get to that proving that it was staged because I'm going to win an award for this, I think. Jesus might come down from, why do we assume that Jesus is up? He could just be in like South Bend, Indiana. He could be anywhere. But I think he's going to come and be like, Sherwin, my child, thank you for revealing essentially what I created. Because isn't it Jesus's? He did it. Doesn't he?
Believe in Jesus?
So I haven't met the dude, but I also haven't met Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby is real. You know what I mean? Just because I haven't met someone doesn't mean. And I also think the consequences, here I am with the consequences again, of not believing in Jesus might be worse than if I actually believe in him and then maybe I find out there's no Jesus. Because, I don't want to die and Jesus be like, hey, dude, look, I'm totally real. Look at this. Look, you should have believed the whole time. Now get on this elevator, Sherwin.
Sounds like a terrible reason to believe.
But Jesus, this elevator only has a down arrow on it. He was like, yep, see ya. And then he'll...
Oh, you think that's what's going to happen?
I don't know what's going to happen. I'll let you know when I get there. I'll let you know when I see you on that elevator. Anyways, I said all that to say this. I'm going to take a break, come back. The city of Milwaukee is taking a lot of heat for one of their proposed solutions to mitigating the big crowds and mobs of the little black kids and the black adults that are on Water Street, which if you are not from the city of Milwaukee, that's one of our entertainment district streets. We got a few of them in the city. And that's where a lot of young people gather late at night and they do the dancing and the twerking and they're in the streets. And sometimes there's a little bit of shooting and a little bit of fighting. And so the city of Milwaukee, led by the 4th District Alderman, who is the individual who represents our downtown business districts, said, let's close the food trucks at 10 p.m. That is going to mitigate, reduce, relieve the stress of these takeovers on Water Street. And everybody said, oh, that's a terrible idea. Good idea, and I'm going to explain why on the other side. You are listening to what is about to be an Emmy, Tony, Grammy, Oscar, Pulitzer, Peabody. I'm going to get a Heisman probably for the story because I can prove to you. That's not funny. It's very serious. I'm going to get an ESPY for this. I'm going to get an MVP for the Washington Commanders. Are probably going to give me an MVP trophy for breaking the story. I'm going to prove to you all that the ballroom shooting was in fact staged. I got where's my paper? I like to crumple up papers. I'm going to prove to you that it was staged. So you got to stay tuned and listen. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes exclusively on 101.7 The Truth. We'll be right back.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
28 years on the Packers.
I would flat out cut his ass to send a message.
37 years playing in the NFL.
This is the best win in the Matt LaFleur era.
87 years covering the Packers.
And that's what happened in the fourth quarter. That's all. He has been really good.
And 46 years of being on ESPN.
I said to Herman Edwards one time, it's hard to win a game in the NFL. He said, John, it's hard to make a first down.
There's no place with more experience when it comes to talking about the green and gold. All day, every day. We are 94.5 ESPN.
You're a hard worker, provide for your family, and help out in your community. You've been there for so many others. But when life challenges you, when rising costs, unexpected repairs, medical bills, or simply a rough stretch make it hard to keep up on a limited or low income, you're not alone. Your local Wisconsin energy and emergency assistance providers are here for you, working together to keep you safely in your home and your heat and power on. If you're struggling with high utility bills, facing a disconnect notice, or dealing with a furnace emergency and your limited or low income isn't enough, support is available. Visit www.heat.help or call 1-800-506-5596 to apply for a hand up.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Our phone number is 833-212-1017, 833-212-1017. Keep that phone number handy because if you have been entered into our Gruber 5K giveaway, we're going to be giving away $5,000 on this show this Friday. I'm not going to tell you what time. It's none of your business. Listen to the entire show. And you better answer the phone when we call, because if you don't answer the phone, we're going to go and call the next person. They're going to win your $5,000. And don't be calling me back mad. I told you on Tuesday to answer the damn phone. You ain't answer the phone. So we have, I don't know if we have a youth problem. I don't know what it is. I know that I like to cause a little trouble, a little chaos when I was a young person. Can we please stop sounding like old people? You got people that aren't even baby boomers that sound like baby boomers. We need to have more skating rinks, see? That's what we need to do. Sign them up for archery. That's what it is. You can come up with every single reproduction of what existed 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago when the whole social climate was different, when kids were different, when parental involvement and discipline was different. That was 20th century stuff. It's not the 20th century anymore. Stop thinking the 20th century stuff is going to work a quarter century into the 21st. Like, you're not going to go buy black and white TV, are you? Like, oh, back in my day, see, we watched a little Magnavox. That's what it was. It was a Magnavox, see? Nobody's going to do that. Nobody's going back to the 20th century. Even if you create what adults believe are acceptable options and programs for kids, there's always going to be a group of kids that are going to rebel. And if I take their side for just a moment, there's a lot to rebel against. Their lives are screwed. AI is going to eat them to death. It is. It's going to chew them up and spit them out. What my generation and those that came before me had was an almost unlimited series of American opportunities. In my early professional formative years, there was this thing called the internet. We didn't know what it would turn into. We didn't know that it could be manipulated to win elections. We certainly didn't know that back then. Back then, you just went to AOL.com and checked your mail. It's really all you did. We had no clue. There was still manufacturing. There were still opportunities. A lot of those have gone away. And if the things that we purchase are made overseas, part of it is an American's fault because we like cheap stuff. We do. There's been this proliferation of everything from a Walmart to a Dollar General and a Dollar Tree. All that stuff is foreign made because if America's made that stuff, what costs $1 at one of those stores? And I don't even know if anything is $1 anymore. I don't go into those stores because I feel like something bad is going to happen if I go into a Dollar Tree or a Dollar General. The last time I went to one, I went to the one on 55th and North Avenue, if that's even still there. Whatever dollar brand Dollar Tree that was. And just people were yelling and there was arguing and it was a mess. There's stuff on the floor and very few things were $1. I was like, I don't need to be here. I'll just buy all this stuff off of the Amazon. But the opportunities that will present themselves professionally for these young people, it's not going to pay them enough, and I feel bad for them. So they're rebelling against a whole bunch of things. I'm not making up an excuse for them, but why should they trust anything that we as the adults in the room come up with for them to do? If anything, they should do the exact opposite. When I saw the young people, maybe they weren't young, I don't know, but I got a kick out of it. I was slightly tickled when I saw this video of two vehicles doing donuts in the intersection of Water Street and Kilbourne directly in front of City Hall. Like, F you elected officials, you're trying to stop us from taking over the streets. You better try again. Now, I was nowhere near that scene when it took place. Now, imagine if I was near that scene, I would have been slightly perturbed. But I saw it on the news, and I was like, haha, that's funny. Because a part of me still is a 17-year-old kid. And I hope the part of me that is still a 17-year-old kid never dies. And I hope those of you that are listening that are over the age of 17, keep that part of you alive, because it's going to hopefully make you somewhat relatable to not just who the young people are right now, but who you used to be back when you enjoyed life. Because now a bunch of you hate life, and I don't want you to hate life. So keep the 17-year-old you alive, and then just try to enjoy it. One of the ideas proposed, and I believe it's going to go into effect maybe as soon as this upcoming weekend, is not closing, but maybe it is closing. Not permitting food trucks to be open past 10 p.m. because if a lot of young people who are not old enough to drink are gathering in an area that makes its revenue off of bars, and you don't want those young people down there just basically loitering and causing a disturbance. Because if you get enough of them together, somebody is going to see somebody they want to fight. Somebody's going to have a gun. Now, it's not guaranteed that violence is going to break out, but it really increases the likelihood. If you have a bunch of people in an area that's not, like, it's not a plaza. It's not a promenade where people are invited to hang out and to loiter. It is a bar district where people that go to have some drinks and maybe watch a game or maybe hear a DJ and do some dancing, it is where people that are 21 plus can go. It is not an area for people under the age of 21. And since most of the people that are down there that are under the age of 21, and a large part of the disturbance that we want to mitigate, because it takes a lot of police presence, and we don't want things that are going to take a lot of police presence, because somewhere somebody's is getting murdered. And we may not have the police responding to the murder because they're over here babysitting a bunch of 14-year-olds on Water Street. So what you can't do is you can't turn the area into a damn restaurant. Now, here's the other thing. I could see if the food trucks, and the food truck owners are very mad. They even did an off-camera interview with, I think her name was Maria Gonzalez. I can understand why Maria Gonzalez, who's got a taco truck or some kind of food truck, why she wouldn't want to be on camera, because if the Trump administration sees her, they're going to take her and her food truck back to Guadalajara. But I can see if the food trucks had a lease agreement. They paid for their spots, and they paid for a year. They pay $300 a month to park their food truck between 5 p.m. and 3 a.m. I could see if they had actual property rights or lease rights to that spot, but they don't. They're making their profit and their revenue from a place that is in public, that is not owned by them. So if a legislator or a group of legislators, because I believe the ordinance passed 14-0, we have 15 members on our council, so somebody wasn't in attendance. If they're telling the food trucks that on this public space that you, the business, the food truck, do not own nor have any property rights to, if the city says you can't be here because you're creating a restaurant environment for people that are causing a great disturbance and are sucking up police presence and police resources, because it's very expensive to have all of those police in one centralized area, especially if some of those cops are working overtime and you're wondering why we don't have enough money to fill the damn potholes. So you cannot turn that area into a restaurant, because the food truck can be the reason why the 14-year-old says, hey, mom or dad, I'm going to go down to Water Street and hang out by the food truck. Even though that's not even what the intention is, it gives a reason for someone who has no business being in an adult entertainment district for them to go down there. Here's the thing. It's a truck. Where's my paper? Listen to me. If they say the food trucks can't be on Water Street because we want to reduce the number of young people that are down there loitering and causing a disturbance, the truck has wheels. It can just go, it can go to another street. The city is not shutting down all the food trucks. It just says until we can get this disturbance on Water Street under control or reduce some of the illegal activity, no food trucks, you got to leave at 10 o'clock. And then you can just go 4 blocks away for some reason to the food truck that doesn't even own the spot it's parked in. It can't go it's a truck. I tell you what, some days when I'm done with my radio show, because I'm done at noon, it's lunchtime. You food trucks, you need somewhere to go, come park in my driveway. I'd love to walk out of my house, and I walk out of my underwear, of course, because I'm at home. Like, hey, what do you guys got today? You guys park the food truck in my driveway. I just think the reaction from people like, oh my God, you're closing the food trucks. And the reaction was from people that probably don't even go down there and go to those food trucks anyway because the damn crowds are so big. You know how many restaurants we have in the city of Milwaukee? We have too many. I think everybody just wants something to be angry at. If the city says, look, these trucks are a gathering place for the people that we don't want to gather because they're not 21, they shouldn't even be mixing and gallivanting with adults anyway. I don't know why anybody is not raising an eyebrow to that. There's another issue that I got a problem with. They're doing this thing now where they're combining schools. Horrible idea. Where you have like a kindergarten all the way up through seniors in high school all under one roof. Whose idea was that? Some seniors are 19 years old, can vote, have full beards, and are on their way to the military under the same roof of a prepubescent girl. No. Why are we... Stop mixing and mingling these damn kids and adults. So the food truck thing, here I got an article here. What's this article say? I got to take a break, though. Well, I'll give you a little taste of the article. I'll read more when I come back. Downtown Milwaukee food trucks must close earlier. Owners say it's unfair. I'll give you the headline, take a break, come back, and talk about why I think it's a good idea. Because if we're trying to mitigate the problems, the trouble, the issues, the fights, the shooting, and the very expensive police presence, you can't add more fun to the area. Because now somebody who's under 21 has a reason to be down there where everybody else needs to be of age to go into the bars. So if you tell the food trucks, okay, you can't be here on this public street after 10 o'clock, just drive somewhere. Just drive, get on 27th Street, 35th Street, 43rd Street, 91st, Swan Boulevard, Burleigh, Locust, Center, North Avenue, East North Avenue, West North Avenue. You see what I mean? The food truck can literally drive to another place, and the customers can drive with the food truck and get your damn tacos. Or just do what everybody else does. Go to Taco Bell. Oh, you're too good? You're too good for a burrito supreme? Really? Stop it. I don't even know you anymore if you think you're too good for Taco Bell. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM in Milwaukee. We'll be right back.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 101.7thetruth.com.
Are you planning a special event? Do you need a personal chef? Either way, make it tasteful. I'm Alicia the Chef, owner of Tasteful Events Catering, and we create customized food experiences for any occasion. We bring quality, flavor, and professionalism to every table. Whether it's a special event or everyday meal solutions, we focus on delivering more than just food. We create experiences. Book today or learn more online at www.tastefuleventscatering.com.
Still think you're going to use those old chemicals just sitting around under the sink, in the garage, or down in the basement? We're talking things like old antifreeze, paint thinners, batteries, propane cylinders, and pesticides. So don't let them sit there. Get rid of them right away to MMSD's Home Hazmat Drop-Off Centers. It's safe, it's easy, and it's open to all Milwaukee County residents. There are 3 locations open year-round. Let's clean up Milwaukee.
Tap into the best power hour in radio in Milwaukee.
So altogether, you're looking at $1,780 for your mortgage and for your property taxes in a year. And that's before you have to deal with, obviously, your water bill and electric bill. That's a steep price that people have to pay. And based off those numbers I just ran, to afford a home like that, you got to make $65,000 a year. But the problem is, here in Milwaukee, the median household income is only $54,234. That's out of whack. So again, I am all about affordability. I'm all about people getting homes. But what we have to understand is that until homes are more affordable, you can have a supply and demand problem. But the problem that we have here in the city of Milwaukee is that these prices, when people are listing these houses, they're listing them for prices that people really can't afford. And even if you do get the house and you're paying that, you're living paycheck to paycheck. Home ownership is not about living paycheck to paycheck. Home ownership is about finding something that fits within your budget and building equity for the future.
Catch Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace every weekday from noon to 1 p.m. on 101.7 The Truth and The Truth app.
When you get a diagnosis of Parkinson's disease, things get real.
And nobody understands that better than the Parkinson's Foundation. All across the country, we provide resources and support in the fight against Parkinson's, a neurological disease that affects movement.
The Parkinson's Foundation is dedicated to improving care and advancing research towards a cure.
And when you call our helpline, you'll speak to a real person who can help you find the right information. Because while living with Parkinson's can be challenging, there are things you can do to improve your quality of life. So, whether you're newly diagnosed, have been living with Parkinson's for years, or caring for a loved one,
when Parkinson's gets real, find real answers at the Parkinson's Foundation.
Go to parkinson.org or call our helpline at 1-800-4PD-INFO, 1-800-473-4636. The Parkinson's Foundation. Better lives together.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 101.7thetruth.com.
Food truck owners in downtown Milwaukee feel unfairly targeted and expect to suffer costly losses from a common council decision requiring them to shut down 3 hours earlier during their busiest time of the night. An ordinance passed by the council and signed by Mayor Cavalier Johnson will prohibit food trucks from operating in the downtown area past 10 p.m., a measure meant to cut down on loitering and crime on weekend nights in the downtown bar district. So here's where I might need some clarification. Can they not operate anywhere downtown? Like, can they go to Highland Boulevard? Can they go to Broadway? Do they have to just remove themselves from Water Street? Or can they not operate anywhere downtown is the question. Because if they're restricting them from being downtown, I could see how that could be a problem. Or, because you got to respond, as a business, you got to respond to regulation. And some folks don't quite get that. Y'all starting to sound like these damn Republicans. You know, Republicans hate business regulation because I don't want to have to stop polluting, or I don't want to have to reduce my carbon emissions. I don't want to have to make sure that the food we make at this company is safe. I don't like regulation. Sometimes regulation is just a part of the game. And so if these food trucks were taking advantage of these crowds and the chaos and the mayhem, that is a major headache for some of those bar owners. And the food trucks are like, oh, well, we'll turn the chaos into a restaurant where you can have a variety of food. Ordinance says, regulation says, yeah, we're trying to reduce a problem that people all over the place are complaining about. Now, if they can't operate anywhere downtown, well, or they're just limiting the hours. So maybe the food trucks that made their money between, let's say, 7 p.m., 10 p.m. until 3 a.m., well, maybe you should have your food truck out for lunch. Because I don't know if this ordinance will not impact them. You just have to be done by 10 p.m. Maybe start your food truck business a little bit earlier. But the question is, can they still operate in the, 2.5 square miles of downtown, or can they not be downtown anywhere? If that's the case, well, we have the food truck park, but that's on 6th Street. Zocalo, it's a little area where they got about 6 food trucks. And then you got food trucks near the Cooperage, which is on South Water Street. I think there's other places where the food trucks can go. But also, don't we have enough? Don't food trucks take away from our very robust service industry? I'm not going to a sit-down restaurant and paying a server and giving tips to a server, and that server uses that money to supplement their low wages and help pay their rent and help pay for childcare. If there's a food truck, because a food truck ain't but 2 or 3 people. Tops. I've never seen more than 3 people in a food truck. Aren't they taking businesses away from the restaurants? That's who really should be lobbying against it. If you have a restaurant that's open late, you're probably seeing your customer base be eroded because somebody's got a restaurant that's on wheels. Also, I've been seeing a lot of stuff on my algorithm. My algorithm is weird, as you can imagine. So, server complaining that, she brought out 2 entrees. They were $75 each. The couple didn't drink alcohol, and it was a $150 bill. And all the server did was just bring the entrees and essentially check on them a couple of times and then bring the check. And then the server was upset that they only got a $5 tip. Now, the food total bill was $150. And a server took to social media and yelled and screamed, how come they didn't give me $30? They should have tipped me $30 or $40. But then when I looked at it realistically, all you did was brought them plates of food that you didn't even make, and that's all you did. You didn't go and get them more ketchup and more this and refilling their drinks every 7.5 minutes. None of that. You just brought out chunks for that based on the cost of the food. And so the ultimate message, I guess, this server had is that if you can't afford to tip, don't go out to eat. People are not going out to eat nearly as much because of that reason. At some point, we probably got to do a conversation about tipping culture because it's insane. When you go to Subway restaurant, get a sandwich. Why am I? Okay, how about this? I do radio 3 hours a day. Technically more than that because I got to prepare. I know this doesn't sound prepared, but I assure you it is. Why don't you guys tip me? Tip me. Why not? Tipping culture is... Never mind the salary that I make. Shh, it's none of your business. Xavier, you should get tipped just for being here. We should just have any guest that comes in the studio. I should have a little tip jar right here. Tipping culture is, why not? Why can't I get tipped?
Well, if this channel was monetized on YouTube, they could send in super chats, which are tips.
Yeah, but they wouldn't get that money to us.
Yeah, it's crazy, huh?
They'd find a way to, because technically it's not. That's the tough one. There could be a split because this is not my infrastructure. This is not my frequency. I don't pay for the FCC license and the annual fees for that. I don't pay to rent this space. Then I could see doing a split. But since they're providing all the infrastructure on us, or they can be like, okay, Sherwin and Xavier, we're not going to pay y'all nothing. You just make everything off of YouTube. Then I wouldn't like that now because our YouTube is not. Even though I'm probably not supposed to know. It ain't exactly bringing in billions.
Yeah, I mean, if we switch to that, then we would have to bring in certain kind of guests to get us into the algorithm. And then we can make a lot of money, actually. And then we would have a whole bunch of different sponsorships, but that's for a whole nother time.
I don't like most guests. That's not a nice thing to say, is it? Because most of them don't do good.
It depends what you're talking about. If you're talking about a certain subject and you're bringing in, someone that's an expert on the subject, I mean, that's interesting, and that gets you into the algorithm.
Trust me when I say I've interviewed subject matter experts to the highest level, and they are horrible interviews. They're nervous, or they're not conversationalists, or they're not understanding that they are providing a listening experience for an audience that they cannot see. I'm glad that the superintendent came and spoke with us. She gave us 30 minutes of her time, and for the most part, she answered, 80% of my questions. But the style points that she received from viewers was horrible because she wouldn't look up. She wouldn't look at me. She wouldn't engage me. She was looking down. She knew her stuff because she's been teaching or in education for 40 years, so I'm not questioning her credibility. It's just some people are not. You got to have charisma for radio.
Yeah, I mean, I guess this is a radio show, but I was talking more bigger picture type thing. There's a whole certain type of audience that just wants information. They don't really care about charisma, as long as it's factual.
This audience is unique, though. And I don't even know if this is... we broadcast via 101.7 FM on the radio, but we also, I think... I'm supposed to be on Instagram, but I guess it depends on the day of the week. But we're also competing against short-form content. YouTube Shorts and TikTok and little clips that get posted on X and get posted on Facebook. So we're competing against all of the other content creators. I think we might have an advantage because those other content creators are just limited to digital platforms, and they're even more limited by the algorithm of their actual viewer, where you can get in any vehicle or turn on any radio, like the brothers in jail. Shout out to brothers on Cell Block B! Because a lot of people in jail listen to me.
Oh, no, there's a lot of internet shows that are radio shows. I can show you some things.
No, please don't. Don't. Thank you.
I'm just saying.
Not as many. So the Breakfast Club is probably going to, and there's such a bad example.
Yeah, that's a terrible example.
It is.
Talking about more.
But they started in radio and now they're on Netflix. And I think that's probably going to be the death of them. But I would be willing to bet that if I look at the top YouTube, like content creators, not like political information or editorial comments or none of that, but like the top content creators on all the platforms don't have a radio component. Oh, of course, some do. But 99% of them just make content for YouTube, and they get their money off of their subscribers, their super chats, their Patreons, et cetera, et cetera. All right, what am I got to reveal how I know it's staged. Why don't we do that at 10 o'clock? Because I'm getting ready to win. I'm going to win so many awards. How many awards am I going to get? I'm going to get so many awards. I already have a trophy room.
Oh, do you?
Yes, I got stuff all over. I got all sorts of accolades. Some of them I don't even remember getting. Somebody sent me a couple months ago, just sent me a crystal plaque, and it just listed like everything I've ever done. Don't know who it was from. I didn't even know who to thank. But yeah, I got a trophy room. But when I break the story, because I got proof. I got receipts. We're gonna post a picture on our YouTube that is gonna prove to you beyond the shadow of a doubt that the shooting at the White House Correspondents' Dinner was planned and faked and staged. You got to stay tuned to find out the details of that. You're listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. I'll be back in a few minutes.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 101.7thetruth.com. Milwaukee Black Talk.
You don't want to be there. You don't like the work. You don't like the people. Now, there are some differences. The only difference is modern American slavery and capitalism versus 19th century. We were dramatically more primitive back then. And a slave that is able to buy their freedom is the same as the disaffected, disgruntled worker that is able to buy their way into entrepreneurship because that for them is freedom.
Listen to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes weekdays from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m.
You're a hard worker. Provide for your family and help out in your community. You've been there for so many others. But when life challenges you, when rising costs, unexpected repairs, medical bills, or simply a rough stretch make it hard to keep up on a limited or low income, you're not alone. Your local Wisconsin energy and emergency assistance providers are here for you, working together to keep you safely in your home and your heat and power on. If you're struggling with high utility bills, facing a disconnect notice, or dealing with a furnace emergency and your limited or low income isn't enough, support is available. Visit www.heat.help or call 1-800-506-5596 to apply for a hand up.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know you love working weekends. If it means working on your dream home, both inside and out. And we're here to help protect those dreams so you can enjoy peace of mind. Save up to 40% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on the way you purchase insurance and by state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
It's a spring thing, Milwaukee. Join us Saturday, May 2nd from 11 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. at Embassy Center, MKE, 3725 North Sherman Boulevard. This free family community resource fair is for ages 0 to 100. Get free diapers, baby wipes, groceries, haircuts while supplies last. Don't miss baby food prep classes and powerful maternal health speakers, Bishop Walter Harvey and Dalvery Blackwell. Doors open at 10:30. Come early. It's a spring thing. Don't miss it.
I'm Sherwin Hughes, and I know the power of Stars and Stripes Honor Flight firsthand. As someone who's been on an honor flight, I can tell you it's a day you'll never forget. Stars and Stripes Honor Flight gives our oldest veterans who served in any location in June of 1975 or earlier a free one-day trip to Washington, D.C. for veterans. Airfare, meals, a coach bus tour, and special flight apparel are all included. It's a day of honor, gratitude, and camaraderie. Veterans who served in the Vietnam or Korean War go to flySSHF.org and ask for an application.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Sincere Ronnie Ray Real says, tip us for those stupid commercials YouTube plays interference in. So I did a thing. I paid for the, not YouTube TV, because screw that, that's $70 a month. You can go straight to hell. But I paid this I think I got a free trial. Yeah, I'm on a free trial. It's YouTube Premium, where there's no commercials. It's a whole nother world. I had to get used to it. So I watch a lot of YouTube. I watch more YouTube than I watch broadcast television because it's anything that I want to know about, any documentary, any historical fact. If I'm trying to fix something, I just watch a lot of YouTube. And I watch 1017 The Truth shows on YouTube as well. And so should you by going to youtube.com or opening up your YouTube app from your smartphone or other mobile device. Search 1017 The Truth. Hit subscribe. You'll be able to watch all of our shows and participate in the lively YouTube chat. Oh, and participate in our poll question of the day. I'm very curious. How often do you contribute to political campaigns? You got three choices: frequently, occasionally, rarely, or never. I'm going to reveal the percentages later on in the program. But right now, the YouTube poll is pretty much as expected. Again, the YouTube poll today, which you can only participate in if you go to youtube.com or open up your YouTube app, search 1017 The Truth, and hit subscribe. How often do you contribute to political campaigns? Frequently, occasionally, rarely, / never? YouTube Premium, for me, is worth it because I waste a lot of time. Because some of those commercials are like 2 minutes before your video starts, or you have this thing called mid-roll, so you'll be watching your show or whatever, and then boom, they'll hit you with another commercial. YouTube Premium, there's no ads. Like, it's a luxury going directly to the YouTube video that you want to see, and then boom, the video plays right away. I'm like, what is this? Where's the commercial? How come it's not playing? Oh, I'm a premium subscriber. And you can download your favorite YouTube videos to watch later or to edit or do whatever. So I think it's totally worth it. RC says, I tip if the show or service is enjoyable. Was that a strip club, buddy? What do you mean? You would tip us? JD says YouTube commercials come right when a caller or Sherwin finna say something good. I'm on the radio and just turn the chat down. YouTube is on some bull sugar honey iced tea. Jasmine says, I love YouTube Premium. Of course you do, Jasmine, because you're classy. You're sophisticated.
It's the best money I spend every month.
I think I'm going to stick with it. So right now I'm on a 30-day free trial. I'm just getting so used to it. It's going to be hard for me to go back to the free YouTube where the commercials play all the time. Now, I have the cheap Netflix, the $8.99 Netflix where they have commercials in the Netflix. That actually is okay because when I'm watching a Netflix show, and the commercials are not very frequent. They're more frequent on YouTube, but if you're watching Netflix, the lower tier of Netflix, because I'm not paying no $30 a month for commercial-free Netflix. Ain't no way. But the $8.99 a month Netflix with the commercials is worth it. And so then when an ad does come on, I just check my phone. Or that's when I get up and go get me a glass of lemonade. Or go check on my laundry or something. So it's not so bad with the Netflix. But on YouTube, the YouTube Premium is...
You're never going to go back. I've had YouTube Premium for about 8 years.
Damn! They had it that long?
Yeah. When I discovered it, because all I do is I watch a lot of YouTube videos.
I know you do. You sent me one.
Oh, no, that was an interesting one. That was a late night send.
Don't do that. I mean, no, I shouldn't say that. If you find it interesting,
yeah, that was interesting, don't you think?
No, it's 30. Hold on, man. Don't send me nothing 35 minutes long because I'm going to look at the length and say, yeah, I can't watch any of that.
Oh, man, you got to get full content.
7 minutes, or I just got a lot of stuff that I'm always doing. I can't just say, let me take 35 minutes out of whatever I'm doing and watch a video that somebody sent me. Let's take a break. When I come back, I'm going to prove to you on the other side how the White House Correspondents' Dinner shooting was staged. And I got a photo to illustrate the point. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. He's the voice for the people and the community's connection to change.
So I was shocked that they let an advocate get on the air, because I was like, man, do y'all really want to know what's really going on out here in these streets? I wish I could have a whole show that y'all could listen to every phone call that come to my. I could do a whole show on my voice message. Just people calling, talking about what's happening. Just off the voice message, y'all wouldn't even believe what I got in my voice message. If I'm gonna start a podcast after, I'm gonna let y'all hear the raw material because we can't even play it on the air. That's how real it is out here. That's why I ain't got time for all y'all all that extra stuff that y'all be trying to do. I'm just happy that we're able to have these great, powerful conversations. But I'm going to always remind y'all that we got to still get out here and get to work.
The Tory Lowe Show, weekdays from 1 to 4 p.m. Live on YouTube and right here on 1017 The Truth.
I take care of the kids, and I take care of my dad. I take care of things at work. The groceries, the cleanups, the meltdowns, the doctor's visits, the family events, mealtimes, bedtimes. I take care of all the things everyone else needs. But I haven't made time to take care of what I need.
Family caregivers are often overloaded. It can feel overwhelming and exhausting. It's no surprise that millions of caregivers experience symptoms of anxiety and depression every year. But help is available because there may only be one you, but you don't have to do it alone. Head to mentalhealthcareworks.org. That's mentalhealthcareworks.org to learn how to get the support you deserve, because mental health care works when you make the call. If you're experiencing a mental health crisis or thoughts of suicide, dial 988, a message from the American Psychiatric Association Foundation.
Real talent is defined by what people can do, not where they learn to do it. So by stopping at the education section of a resume, you might throw away the perfect hire. You might miss someone who has valuable skills to offer to help your business thrive right now and in the future. Because the truth is this: Skills First Hiring helps you see talent others miss, like more than 70 million stars, skilled through alternative routes. When you let their story unfold, you gain a competitive advantage, because hiring managers who start with skills are 60% more likely to find a successful hire. See the real person, complete, see what others miss. Hire skills first. Learn why it's a competitive advantage at tearthepaperceiling.org. Brought to you by Opportunity at Work and the Ad Council.
Join the movement. Listen to the Tory Lowe Show on 1017 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha and W269DL Milwaukee, the locally owned Good Karma brand station. This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Welcome to Hour 2 of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. Check us out on YouTube if you haven't done so already. We're over here talking about YouTube Premium and how it's the best thing ever. Look, Mao and Vanessa, I get it. You know, YouTube has got us over here paying for their services. Well, it shouldn't be free. It hosts a lot of content. There's like 15 million content creators on YouTube, and you can just go get your phone out or your computer, or your mobile device, or whatever you have, and watch a whole bunch of videos. That's a service worth paying for. If you look at the amount of channels that you get over the air, if you have a smart TV and I guess you have to have a digital antenna, and you connect your TV to the internet, there's like regular television with no cable. It's like 300 channels. And that's free. I have a Roku smart TV, and it's hundreds. It's movies and classic TV. It's all sorts of stuff. So between that and paying $15.99 a month for YouTube Premium, that's really all you have to pay. But I got to get a bunch of news sources, too, even though I really despise the national media. The way they are so intimidated by Trump, it's disgusting. And they're all afraid to speak up, and especially with the White House Correspondents' Dinner shooting, the way they treated that like it was a serious event. Okay, let me not say that. It was serious, but none of them even had the courage. This is why our media is screwed. Not this one, though, because I tell it like a TI is. Not a single one of them would dare have the courage of raising the specter that it might have been staged, because that is what reporting is supposed to do. It is supposed to question everything a government does. It's supposed to question the motives of Democrats, Republicans, their policies. Here, let me throw one out there for you. This president is failing on a number of different fronts, but let me give you the biggest failure that nobody is even discussing, and this is what should be dominating the media other than having sex with kids on an island, but nobody really cares about that. This man has had probably one of the most sycophantic and sympathetic Congresses in all of American history. They are doing his bidding for him. They are not even a separate. Congress is no longer a separate branch of government. It is a de facto extension of Donald Trump's worst impulses. They approve all of his people. Some of them are not qualified. The number of people that had to drop out, because imagine if you're so bad that even Donald Trump's sycophants in Congress are like, Mr. President, we can't approve him. You know how bad you have to be? Pete Hegseth is a literal drunk. And then they showed a clip of him at the Correspondence Center where dude was grinding his teeth. I know what that teeth grinding means. I've seen that before. I'm a kid of the 90s. I used to go to raves. I know what that teeth grinding means. He's signed one bill. And it's failed miserably. The one big, beautiful bill is think about this now. He has a sympathetic Congress. Now, he's moved money around. He's done, but that's not legislation. He has what every president dreams of. His party is in the majority on the courts, in the House of Representatives, and in the U.S. Senate. Now, those majorities are going to fade away. Then we're going to get into impeachment territory. 2027 and beyond is going to be an absolute mess. maybe then light will be shed on the fact that Donald Trump had every opportunity to do something for the American people. You know what he did? Put us in a war that nobody asked for and nobody wanted after we were just in a war for 20 years that we lost. One bill in 2 damn years. And there's all the other stuff, too. So I'm thinking to myself as I'm combing through all these photographs and these different angles, because as time goes on, more people were uploading and posting more video and more photos from the White House Correspondents' Dinner. And so when I scroll through different social media, I see so many pictures. And there was one that caught my eye. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, I looked at the picture, I analyzed it, I tried to see if I could find a duplication of the picture. There's a few other examples of it. But I think the one that we have, it's a little grainy because the photograph captures something it was not supposed to capture. So where the attention should be focused in the picture we're going to show you, not yet though, we're going to show it to you in a little bit. What I want to illustrate is not in hyper focus, but you can kind of make it out just enough for, I think, the picture to prove why they may have staged the entire event. The Department of Homeland Security, which encompasses the Secret Service, Customs and Border Patrol, and ICE, has been essentially shut down, even though they approved about a $75 billion funding increment for, I think, ICE. But the department is still shut down. It's been shut down for 74 days. Part of the Secret Service, if not all of it, is funded via the Department of Homeland Security. If you stage an assassination attempt, the administration can say, hey, Democrats, because you won't work with the Republicans in the House of Representatives and the Senate to fully fund and open up the Department of Homeland Security, we can't pay enough Secret Service agents, and now the president's life is at risk. So that is like the first credible reason why they would want to stage an attack and say, see, it's the Democrats not wanting to fund the Department of Homeland Security to the levels that the Republicans say the president is now in danger, and therefore all dignitaries are in danger. They're trying to pin this on the Democrats by staging what took place at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. They want to open up and fully fund the Department of Homeland Security. Here's the problem with that and why the Democrats should continue to stand firm. And I got to demystify this for people. Otherwise, you will think that the Democrats are obstructionists. What version of the Department of Homeland Security that the Republicans want funded that the Democrats are vehemently against is the Department of Homeland Security that can go snatch up innocent people that have legitimate reason and legal right to be here, and to deport them to countries that they've never even been to before. The Republicans want that funded. The Republicans want untrained agents, like 6 weeks or something of training to be out on American streets and to even shoot and kill American protesters in front of their own houses, and for the agents to continue to wear masks when the public and the police departments in these local municipalities don't even want these agents to wear masks because we don't know who the hell they are. The Republicans like, you're going to fund the Department of Homeland Security that can snatch up legitimate people that are here legitimately, snatch up American citizens, kill American citizens. We're going to make sure that they're wearing masks because, we don't want those ICE agents to be outed. The Democrats are like, we're not funding any of that. How you are searching people and pulling people over, all of that is not only illegal, it's unconstitutional. And the Democrats are not funding that. So the Republicans are like, okay, we'll stage an assassination attempt then if that won't move you. It's just literally insane. From thehill.com, tensions between Senate Majority Leader John Thune, the Republican from South Dakota, and Speaker Mike Johnson, the Republican from Louisiana, are escalating after Saturday's shooting at the Washington Hilton put a new focus on a stalled Homeland Security funding bill passed by the Senate last month. Members of the Senate Republican leadership team said the assassination attempt against President Trump should spur Republicans in the House to immediately pass a Senate-approved bill to fund most of the Department of Homeland Security, including the Secret Service, whose officers stopped an armed assailant within a few feet of the Hilton ballroom. Quote, I think it was incumbent on them well before this event even happened to pass the Senate bill. So think about this. There was a quote unquote assassination attempt of the president. And they said, well, you got to fully fund the Department of Homeland Security. Otherwise, there's going to be more assassination attempts. I'll bet you dollars to donuts. I should check the prediction markets. There'll be another one. There'll be another assassination. Oh, yes, there will be. For the midterms? Oh, yeah. It may not be as direct as gunmen on the loose, but they're going to find a bomb. They're going to find, President Trump's motorcade was nearly destroyed by an improvised explosive device. Oh, no, another national security threat has been, there's going to be some, I guarantee it. Also, and I talked about this in great detail yesterday, it has long been a tactic of the Soviet Union and Russia to stage and carry out assassinations and attempts to help a fledgling political candidate that is loyal to Vladimir Putin. So if there's someone in one of the former Soviet satellite countries where the president is sympathetic to Vladimir Putin, and that president in the democracy that they are leading is not very popular, Vladimir Putin and the Russian secret police will organize and orchestrate an assassination attempt on that fledgling candidate to turn legitimate political and public policy issues into an emotional and patriotic one. Because even if this used to be the way, I'm not sure if it's still the way today, even if you disagree with a country's leader, nobody wants the country's leader to get killed because that's not very nice. So if people are concerned about affordability, or if they're concerned about taxes, or they're concerned about the cost of health care, if you threaten an assassination on that country's leader, people will all of a sudden get emotional and get all patriotic and say, yeah, the taxes are too high and health care is too expensive and we can't afford anything, but let's all come together as Latvians. Let's all come together and stop all of this political violence. So that also yet is another reason. But also, I think Trump likes chaos. X, can you fire that photo up for us and put it on the YouTube? I want you guys to go to youtube.com or open up your YouTube app, search 1017 The Truth and hit subscribe. I want to show you something that I think most media has missed. And so when I show this photo, then I bet you all the media is going to have this photo now. Let me know when it's up. I had to hit refresh, and it's a damn commercial playing. Okay, so if you have a gunman in the Washington Hilton Hotel, you would want to get the president the hell out of the building immediately. Nowhere in that building is safe because you don't know, are there bombs? Is there another gunman? Is the assassination attempt waiting for the president to leave out of the back door, out of the side door? You don't know, but you want to get the president the hell out of the building. I want you to look at the photo that we have on YouTube. Do you see that on the picture on the left? So you got Stephen Miller grabbing his pregnant wife's titty, which is just weird. But look in the background. Do you see that figure that I circled? I have that red circle. That's Trump watching the chaos. He is backstage watching. I know that because the picture is low resolution and we blew it up for YouTube, but in the picture on the right, you can make out the president's head, his hair, and his bow tie. Trump is literally just barely behind the curtain, and here's what's crazy. So you have all of these cameras, because all the news media, or at least major media, was in the room, cameras rolling. Some of the cameras remained rolling even when the camera operators were ducking and running out of the building and looking for cover because we didn't know how many gunmen there were. Trump was just behind the curtain, watching it all unfold. I need you to just think for a second. If there's a legitimate assassination attempt on the president, why would the Secret Service just allow him to just remain backstage? It's not like the curtain he's standing behind is bulletproof. He's literally watching. He's just barely behind this curtain. I want to see it. I want to see all the chaos. Isn't that insane? When I saw this picture, I couldn't, at first I couldn't believe it, but then immediately I could. I wish it was more clear, and I wish I had all of the fancy equipment where you can take a photo and you can redo the pixels. That is the president. You can see his damn bow tie. And that head, that shape of that head and that hair, that's unmistakable. So On the picture on the left, you have Stephen Miller. That's such a weird picture. But they're running. And some people are saying, oh, no, he's Stephen Miller in the picture on the left. He's using his wife as a human shield. I think he's just trying to usher her out. His hand happened to be near the titty.
I think he is.
I think he's like, because of where she was sitting, she got up first and he just happened to be behind her because you don't know where the gunman is. So you can't say, if there were shots coming from, I guess, directly in his line of sight, but first of all, if you listen to the audio, you can't hear the shot in the ballroom. What you hear is someone saying, gun, gun, they're shooting. That's what everybody reacted to because it was only a single shot that was fired. And explain this to me. Only one shot? You know how many agents and how many security there were? And he got to a place where he could have started unloading and just one shot was fired. There's a whole bunch of other things that just don't make any sense. But when I saw this, Trump is behind the curtain watching the chaos. You know he loves to rule in chaos. He loves it because that's where he can exert the most control. And also, if the Department of Homeland Security is not fully funded, because this has been the longest partial government shutdown in American history. Today is our 74th day in which the Department of Homeland Security, which includes Customs and Immigration Enforcement and the Department of Homeland Security and all the other agencies that are assisting Donald Trump in his very fascist agenda, they're not fully funded because the Democrats want some fundamental changes. If you fake an assassination attempt, that can put more pressure on the Democrats. And now you can use the entire echo chamber of conservative media to say it's the Democrats' fault that they won't fund Homeland Security and the Secret Service is underfunded because, look, they tried to kill the president. All while the president is backstage. Why does he just have the worst Secret Service ever? Or was this all planned and orchestrated? Because at the very least, let's use our common sense here. Let's take away all the politics and all of the credibility that this administration has absolutely lost in the eyes of the average American voter who can't even afford their lives anymore. Take all that stuff away. If there's a legitimate threat where the gunman got really close, he was right outside the ballroom, ladies and gentlemen. Why would the Secret Service allow the president to stand backstage? There's no way they could have known that the threat was neutralized because what we're showing you with the photo on the left is the moment people are yelling out, there's a man with a gun. There is no way that the Secret Service knew that all of the targets or all of the assailants, potentially, perpetrators, were all out of the building and all neutralized. They had no idea. Why is Trump just... You see what I mean, you guys? All right, I'm going to take a break, come back. I think we just leave the picture up. I wonder if I can find a better version of it.
For the break screen?
Can you do that? I don't want you to get it.
Of course.
All right. But I'm not crazy, right? That's Trump, right? Somebody validate me.
Oh,
That's
no,
him.
it's Trump.
Okay.
I thought you were going to show me something that I haven't seen before.
You saw this?
Yeah, I've been seeing. Dude, you know how informed I am?
Oh, you are kind of...
I'm on...
I say this in the most flattering way possible. Kind of Tin Hattie. A little bit.
No,
not Tin Hattie. No.
This on it. I'm this right before everyone else is.
Fair enough.
To the, thing.
Trump is backstage while there's gunmen shooting and him trying to kill him. He's no. I want to watch him run like rats and roaches. He's so sadistic. Because people are genuinely terrified.
Well, you got to think, this man's in the Epstein files. Of course he's sadistic. Think of what he's done and what he's seen.
And they elected him. All right, I got to take a break. I think Adul wants to talk to me. Sorry, Adul, this segment went long. I get long-winded sometimes. You know what I mean? All right. Take a break, come back, read some of the comments. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. We'll be right back.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Truth Nation is the best fan base in the country.
I won tickets last week on your show to see The Wiz. I just wanted to call and say thank you and say I appreciate you. I appreciate the show. I appreciate the station. That was a core memory that was made last night. The Wiz was an amazing performance.
We want you to tap into the talk and text line every show, every day at 833-212-1017. Milwaukee Black Talk, 1017 The Truth.
Hi, I'm Greg Fritsch, president of the Center for Veterans Issues, inviting you to get involved in supporting the CVI mission. The Center for Veterans Issues is proud to serve veterans across Wisconsin. Each year, we help more than 1,200 veterans stay housed, find meaningful employment, and connect with the support they've earned. From housing assistance and job training to case management and suicide prevention outreach, our team is here to help veterans build stable, independent lives. If you're a veteran in need of support, visit cvivet.org. Donations can also be accepted at cvivet.org/donate.
You're a hard worker. Provide for your family and help out in your community. You've been there for so many others. But when life challenges you, when rising costs, unexpected repairs, medical bills, or simply a rough stretch make it hard to keep up on a limited or low income, you're not alone. Your local Wisconsin energy and emergency assistance providers are here for you, working together to keep you safely in your home and your heat and power on. If you're struggling with high utility bills, facing a disconnect notice, or dealing with a furnace emergency and your limited or low income isn't enough, support is available. Visit www.heat.help or call 1-800-506-5596 to apply for a hand up.
Prizes, exclusive experiences, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting truthcontests.com. That's truthcontests.com.
Happy kids heal faster, and that's why Starlight is dedicated to improving the mental well-being of sick kids across the U.S. Learn how at starlight.org.
Gruber Offices, a proud partner of your Milwaukee Brewers.
This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Our phone number, save it in case you get lonely at night. You want to call us and ask us what we're wearing, or maybe you want to call us and ask us to send you a foot pic. I don't know. 833-212-1017, 833-212-1017. I think that I have cracked the code. I have proven that the assassination attempt was in fact staged. There was another thing about the Butler, Pennsylvania one, which I hate saying that one was staged too, because someone actually got killed. So Trump's ear, that was real blood. That I know, something actually did happen to his ear, but I think that when he went down, it was pierced or punctured. And also, if you are protecting somebody, like rule number one with dignitary protection, you lay on top of the president of the United States. There's new audio that was released, or relatively new audio. There's so the shot goes off. Trump goes down. He's surrounded by Secret Service. Then there's that famous picture of him yelling, "Fight!" Right? He's standing up. You don't let your dignitary stand up when you don't know where all of the potential shooters are, and you have no confirmation that all of the shooters have been neutralized. So that was not just an error. That was on purpose. And then also, because I want to get into this next part, there were T-shirts, there were posters, and all sorts of memorabilia with Donald Trump's fists raised in the air, with blood pouring from his ear, and the word "fight." So they merchandised it. They commercialized it, rather. If somebody tries to kill me, I don't want to put that on a T-shirt, because I'd be real traumatized by it. Unless you knew from the beginning that it was a plan to gain more sympathy, because it's a Russian KGB tactic that's not even... the similarities to what this president and his administration is doing to other things in history is remarkable, and it's showing public education at some level is failing everybody. The Russians use these exact same tactics to manipulate people away from political issues and onto emotional issues. Because if you're mad about the cost of living and affordability and gas prices and your country is ignoring you and your country is involved in a war, if you fake an assassination attempt, you will temporarily forget the Epstein files. If you fake an assassination attempt, temporarily people are like, oh, no, we don't want the president to get killed. Let's all come together as Americans and just stand against political violence. But I think the more assassination attempts we have, the less impact it's going to end up having on the American people. Because it's happening a little too much. Listen to me. Ain't nobody that lucky. No one is that lucky. They're using it for political gain. So they merchandised the fight when he stood up. Why would you let somebody that's being shot, the president of the United States? And so if you listen to the audio, they're like, wait, no, I got to grab my shoe. No, wait. Like they're orchestrating it because they duck down behind the podium and then all of a sudden he just springs up with blood pouring from his face. Very theatrical, very dramatic. He should win an Oscar for that. But I think that they're doing it to gain sympathy because he did not want Kamala Harris to be elected president of the United States because Donald Trump's lawsuits and all of the cases that were mounting against him, he no longer would be protected under presidential immunity. And Donald Trump, I don't think he would have went to jail for any of his crimes, but he'd be on. I mean, how bad is house arrest at a 60,000 square foot mansion on a golf course? Could you imagine Donald Trump on a golf course at his own house with an ankle bracelet on? That's crazy work. But then there's this other thing because they seem to monetize everything. And I got very curious about this quote said by President Lyndon Baines Johnson. What was Lyndon Johnson? He was the 36th? I think he was the 36th president. He's the one that became president after Kennedy lost his mind that day in Dallas. And Lyndon Johnson said something that I've been trying to find like real world context to his quote, and I found it with the MAGA movement. And Lyndon Johnson said, if you can convince the lowest white man he's better than the best colored man, he won't notice you're picking his pocket. Hell, give him someone to look down on, and he'll empty his pockets for you. We titled today's show, Make America Grift Again. I'm going to take a break, and when I come back, I'm going to delve into the profit-generating machine of MAGA merchandise. Remember, Lyndon Johnson said, if you can convince the lowest white man he is better than the best colored man, he won't notice you're picking his pocket. Hell, give him someone to look down on, and he'll empty his pockets for you. I'm going to share with you the sheer volume of how many Make America Great Again themed products there are. Hats, shirts, pins, buttons, posters, Bitcoins, NFC coins, and tokens. There are thousands of products. Because if you can convince Trump supporters that black people and all their DEI are beneath you, if these illegal Mexicans and migrants from other countries are beneath you, you will be able to also manipulate that same group of people to buying your products. MAGA World and the revenue that it generates is as large as some companies that are listed on the New York Stock Exchange, and it's just the president's merchandising. He is literally doing what Lyndon Johnson said would happen if you give white people something or someone to look down on. Let's delve into exactly how much money is being made through thousands. I didn't think it was that many. Where's my paper? I got to crumple it. Thousands of what we call SKU numbers, individual products that are for sale. Billions of dollars have been made on the grift. Let's talk about the grift on the other side. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. I'll be right back.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 The Truth App, and 1017thetruth.com.
Natural gas is a clean, reliable, and convenient source of energy delivered directly to you through underground pipelines. The pipeline system has an excellent safety record, but there are clues that can help you identify a potential hazard. If you smell the strong odor of rotten eggs, hear an unusual hissing sound, or see blowing dirt or debris, it could be a natural gas leak. Leave the area immediately and call We Energies at 800-261-5325.
We Energies. People you can trust. Energy you can depend on.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
Honest, direct, and always thought-provoking.
Even if the system don't make sense anymore. And that's the part we got to be honest about. Education is not a theory. It's not a title. It's not a category. It's a student, it's a teacher, it's a classroom, and there's learning. Everything, everybody else, including the superintendent herself, are secondary. Assistant superintendents, or whatever the heck you call them, deputy, chief of school, everybody, they are secondary if a child's not learning. The student is the number one thing there. So if we've reached the point where the only way to defend the system is to argue that keeping teachers out of a classroom is essential to education, then we're not just confused. We backwards. And when policy, practice, priorities, and money collide like that, there's only one word for all of this: nonsensical.
Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris, weekdays from 4 to 6, live on YouTube and broadcasting on 101.7 The Truth.
Many of our most important memories are made at school. But for children like Victoria, the classroom can be a place of fear and isolation. She wore a bandage over her cleft every day, too shy to speak, too afraid to smile. Everything changed after one life-transforming surgery made possible by Smile Train. Today, Victoria's smile lights up her classroom, a symbol of confidence, connection, and new beginnings. Due to stigma, children with untreated clefts often miss out on school entirely. But thanks to Smile Train, students like Victoria are stepping into the classroom, raising their hands, and finding their voice. Smile Train partners with local experts to support with free cleft surgeries and other comprehensive care, empowering children to thrive in school and in life. Let's help every child walk into the classroom with confidence. Visit smiletrain.org/learn.
This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 101.7thetruth.com.
Brian wants to know. I want to know, Brian says, how was the guy able to check into the hotel the day before the event? I have a friend whose kids right before the State Department, and I have a friend whose kids must be work for the State Department. And he told that nobody should have been allowed to even get within a mile of the hotel. Not only that, how did he get all those weapons in his hotel room? Didn't they sweep the hotel before the event? Also, how was he able to run past 4 or 5 Secret Service agents before they reacted? He had several feet to cover before he was past security, and they didn't react until he was past them. Makes you say, I did what I'd consider a reasonable breakdown of all of the security lapses and failures yesterday. So they did take a lot of risk, because I went through, because here's the thing about the Washington Hilton, which raised my red flags but I needed more information and more objective evidence to say, yeah, this damn thing was staged. Donald Trump standing behind the curtain watching everybody run and scatter like roaches proved it for me, because if there was no real urgency to remove the president from the building. You got to remember, Ronald Reagan was almost killed at the Washington Hilton in 1981. March 30th, 1981. This is why what Trump is doing right now echoes throughout history. You know who the first person to say "Make America Great Again" was? Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan went to the Neshoba County Fair in 1980 to announce his presidency, that he was running for president in 1980. And he won. He beat Jimmy Carter. Why on earth would Reagan go to a state that was so deeply red? He never had to visit there. If you notice, when candidates run for office, they don't go to Louisiana. They don't go to Arkansas, Tennessee, or Kentucky. They don't waste their time, effort, energy, and money in states that are deeply red. But when Reagan went to the Neshoba County Fair in Mississippi, just outside of Philadelphia, Mississippi, to announce his candidacy, he was sending a message. 3 civil rights workers were murdered and buried in shallow graves in that county. And Reagan was like, I want these people to know, these white supremacist Southerners, to know that I'm on their side. In fact, I'm going to pay them a visit. In fact, I'm going to do one better. I'm going to announce my candidacy for president of the United States at a place that was notorious for murdering people that wanted to register African Americans to vote. And some would say that set the tone for Ronald Reagan's next 2 terms in office. But the shocking similarities between what Reagan did and what Trump is able to get away with, much more extreme versions of it, and the unitary executive theory. That was something that Richard Nixon tried to do. The president is above the law, Richard Nixon said in so many words. If the president does it, it's not against the law. Well, Richard Nixon had to resign because his own party, this is the integrity that we've lost in this country in the last 50 years. And it just disappeared right in front of our faces. The Republicans in the U.S. Senate came to Richard Nixon shortly before he resigned. It was in April of 1974. They said, Mr. President, we're going to remove you from office. We have the votes. We're your own party. And we are going to vote to remove you, so we're going to give you the option to resign, or it will be the greatest embarrassment for the rest of your life, and your entire legacy is going to be tarnished, even though his legacy was tarnished anyway. That was back when you had Republicans that would hold their own accountable, even if it meant it could cost Republicans elections in the future, because clearly their party is corrupt. They held their own president of the same party accountable and said, we are going to vote to remove you from office. The House had already impeached him. It's the Senate that has to vote. 67 members have got to vote to remove a president from office. Some people think that if you're impeached in the House, that removes you from office. No, the House just implicates you. It's the Senate that actually removes you. And they had the votes in that Senate to remove Richard Nixon. I think I'll just step down and I'll resign. But we've lost that kind of integrity to where a president's party will not hold him accountable. In fact, the last time we really saw that was during Barack Obama's term. Obamacare was so unpopular because, again, like Project 2025, nobody read the bill. See, this is where I give Nancy Pelosi credit. She was like, I trust him. But, Madam Speaker, you haven't read the bill. She's like, it's 900 pages. I'm not reading it. If Barack Obama wants to create a system of health care for this country, I don't need to read it. I'm going to pass it. And she whipped her caucus into shape, and they passed it, and they didn't read it. They didn't need to read it because Barack Obama was trustworthy enough. But then there was some Democrats, especially in the U.S. Senate, that next midterm election in 2010, they distanced themselves from Barack Obama because they didn't read the Affordable Care Act either, and they weren't supportive of it. They didn't like it. And all of those Democrats that were running for re-election in the U.S. Senate in 2010 that distanced themselves from their own president, they all lost re-election. Idiots. Some of you right now are alive. Family members are alive. Some of you are able to start businesses because of the Affordable Care Act. But the integrity that we once used to have and the trust that we put in that office is gone, and I'm not sure if we'll ever get it back. So there's thousands of Trump products, right? So going back to the Lyndon Johnson's quote, and I got to say the quote again because I'm going to make it all make sense. Lyndon Johnson said, if you can convince the lowest white man he's better than the best colored man, he won't notice you're picking his pocket. Hell, give him somebody to look down on, and he'll empty his pockets for you. And I know that this information might sting a little bit, not because it's false, but because it's coming from me, and I am notoriously anti-MAGA because I think that they are a subsection of American politics that is fundamentally at its core unconstitutional. It's bigoted, it's ethnocentric, it has a myopic view of what America is, what America can be, and these are people willing to cut off more than just their nose to spite their face. They're willing to dig out their own damn eyeballs because they think that their troubles are based on the progress of people that are black and brown. And if you feel that way, your ass deserves to suffer. I ain't got nothing to do with you being mediocre. Ain't got nothing to do with me. Well, you know, you black people are getting all this DEI stuff. Trust me when I tell you. Very few companies are hiring black people just to fill some quota. That's just plain old stupid. It's just hard for them to believe that some black people are actually really smart, let alone smarter than them. And Trump knows they're stupid. So he was like, okay, let's sell them stuff. Sometimes the opposite of intelligence is consumer. Because if you're not really well informed, you'll just buy stuff. You may not have a 401k or savings. You may not be a homeowner, but damn it, you're going to buy a $1,000 pair of shoes. Damn it, you're going to go to the club and get bottle service and spend $2,000 for a section where all you're doing is standing in one spot and putting selfies on Instagram. If you are misinformed, you are going to be a consumer. I can sell you stuff to make you look good and to make you feel good so that your lack of intelligence feels really luxurious. That is ideal. If somebody is so dumb that I can take their money, if I can sell them a dream, if I can sell them an image, you know, if you buy this purse or you buy this cologne, if you buy these shoes, you'll be winning. You'll be on top. Or as the young people say, ooh, you ate. You ate with that. She's eating. She eats ramen noodles. That's what she actually eats. Because she's broke. But very pretty, though. I don't know what it is about the correlation between beautiful women with just no money and a credit score of 350.
What women are you talking to?
Many. You think they show you their credit scores, Xavier? You think so? You think that's what we should do as men, because we're supposed to provide and all this other stuff. Okay, great. If I marry you, you can't tank my credit score. Let me see your credit score. Let me see that credit karma. Pretty women. No, I shouldn't say that. It's a couple of hot women that probably have high credit score.
Yeah, I know a good amount.
Yeah, that's using a heuristic. That's the ones that you know. Yeah, but you're not sleeping with none of them, though. So if you just know them, man. Or are you? You humping them? You humping? Don't know, no. Don't get quiet now. Actually, you know what? If you plug into a woman that's got a high credit score, your score might go up about 10, 15 points.
Oh, I didn't know that. Maybe I need to check my credit karma.
Because you're plugging into a financial genius, and then that plug into that socket, it'll help your credit. I got to get to these. You distract me. I got to get to the details here. Here we go. Even though there is, not allowed by the Trump administration, no single audited comprehensive total for MAGA/Trump branded merchandise revenue since 2015, the market is fragmented across 1. Official Trump organization stores. 2. Campaign merchandise, political action committees, and other committees. 3. Licensed products, watches. Remember the Trump shoe? I remember seeing it. So I went to the RNC when the convention was here. There were people actually wearing that $400 gold monstrosity of a shoe. But that's just one example. Watches, sneakers, books, etc. Digital assets like NFTs. Thousands of independent and unofficial sellers on Amazon, Etsy, roadside vendors, etc. So I'm going to take a break. When I come back, I'm going to give you the sheer volume of how much money MAGA branded products takes in. They are grifting their supporters, but in exchange, they're giving the supporters nothing. They're not improving economic conditions. We're back in a foreign war. Donald Trump has been known to gallivant around with Jeffrey Epstein and pedophiles. He's a fascist, and he is selling his poor supporters all of his junk, and he is literally making billions of dollars because, like the quote from Lyndon Johnson, if you can convince the lowest white man he is better than the best colored man, he won't know it as you're picking his pocket. Hell, give him someone to look down on, and he'll empty his pockets for you, and that is precisely what MAGA world is doing. Let's get into the details on the other side. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. We'll be right back.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
I travel all around the world, Dr. Ken, and when I tell you, based on my experiences, this is like the number one country that cares. Like, everything is about money. Yep. Everything.
This is The Truth Unfiltered with Denise Thomas and Dr. Ken Harris.
I've told people in the past, you have to be careful of what you complain about and what you use as a tool, because other people will take it and use it in the wrong way.
Sundays starting at 7 on 620 WTMJ and Mondays at 6 on 101.7 The Truth.
At Milwaukee College Prep, we don't leave success to chance. We're designed for it. With strong support, high expectations, and a team committed to excellence, our educators turn belief into outcomes every day. If you believe every child deserves an excellent education, join Milwaukee College Prep. Apply today. Visit mkeprep.com/jobs. Don't miss one of Milwaukee's favorite summer traditions, the U-Path Ride for Arts, presented by Miller Lite, returns Sunday, May 31st. Ride a fully closed 20-mile course across the Hone Bridge with incredible lakefront views. Kids 12 and under ride free thanks to the Brewers Community Foundation. All in support of Southeastern Wisconsin Performing Arts. 7 a.m. start, finish at UPath Fest on Summerfest grounds. Register today at upathride.org. That's UPAFRIDE.org.
You're a hard worker. Provide for your family and help out in your community. You've been there for so many others. But when life challenges you, when rising costs, unexpected repairs, medical bills, or simply a rough stretch make it hard to keep up on a limited or low income, you're not alone. Your local Wisconsin energy and emergency assistance providers are here for you, working together to keep you safely in your home and your heat and power on. If you're struggling with high utility bills, facing a disconnect notice, or dealing with a furnace emergency and your limited or low income isn't enough, support is available. Visit www.heat.help or call 1-800-506-5596 to apply for a hand up.
This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Make sure you stay tuned to the program. We're going to give away some tickets to the Tacos and Tequila Fest. Performances at that festival include Shaggy, Rick Ross, Genuine, Soulja Boy, Frankie J. Mims, and more. So stay tuned for your chance to win a pair of tickets. You know what we should do? Should we give away MAGA merchandise on this show?
You know,
Make
I was
America
thinking
great
about
again.
starting, shirt and T-shirt company, MAGA, Trump 2028.
Yeah, you can make money off of it. I mean, I would be a Confederate flag vendor and rip people off of Confederate flags. Why not? They're going to buy them anyway. Might as well buy them from me, and I can donate the money to the United Negro College Fund. So therefore, those of people that are buying Confederate flags and other racist memorabilia would be helping black kids go to college. That'd be pretty cool. I once registered. I let it go, though. So what I would do is I would go to Facebook, because there used to be a lot more like white nationalists and hate groups on Facebook back in the early days, but Facebook cracked down. So what would happen is these, like the CSA, the Confederate States of America, had a Facebook page, but they didn't have a website. So I bought and registered the Confederate States of America, CSA.com.org.net. So if they wanted to ever go on the internet, they would have to buy the domain from me, and I was charging $8 million for the domain. Now, they didn't buy them, but that was one way I was trying to grift those idiots. So if you want to spread your hate to the larger internet, I own the domains. All right, verified baseline plus official disclosed revenue. The official Trump store did $3+ million in 2023. NFTs and digital trading cards did $1.16 million. Watches alone themed with Donald Trump's name, likeness, or MAGA did $3 million. They got Donald Trump themed guitars. $1 million in profit was generated from Donald Trump guitars. Campaign merchandise tied to mugshot items. So when he got his mugshot, you guys saw those T-shirts. That did $2 million. Order of magnitude, verified and direct, between $10 and $20 million a year. And this is actual official Donald Trump merchandise. The overwhelming majority of MAGA merchandise revenue, though, comes from outside official channels. Amazon MAGA merchandise did $140 million in the first 6 months of 2024. I'm not done. Total MAGA merchandise ecosystem in any 1 year is $300 million. He is grifting these people, not producing any tangible policy for them, not making life better, not making things more affordable. He is selling them absolute crap products. And here's the thing. As they wear the products, they are walking billboards for him and an empty agenda. At the same time, it's almost genius when you think about it, because Trump doesn't have to create policy that's going to help his base, because he and they can just blame people that look like me and us. Since 2015, MAGA merchandise became commercially significant, starting with the 2016 campaign cycle, then expanded through 2016 through 2020, first presidential peak, 2021 through 2023, the post-presidency dip, but still active, and the 2024 through 2026 resurgence tied to the campaign and his presidency. Applying a conservative monetary assumption, MAGA-themed merchandise, this is money going directly into Trump World's pocket, is the conservative estimate now, has averaged $150 million a year, totaling $1.5 billion of Make America Great Again merchandise. How come I didn't think of that? We could have did it for Obama. Make Obama merch. Obama, we love Obama hats. Barack Obama. Or his alter ego when he gets mad, Barack-O-Drama.
Yeah, but liberals aren't as cultish as, right-wing extremists. They kind of view Trump as, I don't think any liberals view Obama as God.
No.
Whereas people literally view Trump as God, or more than Jesus.
Bernie was cult of personality. He was. And I think what he found is that the young people that he was promising a lot of great stuff to didn't actually vote, and there wasn't enough legislative policy backing for some of Bernie Sanders' policy. He made a bunch of mistakes, but he also took advantage of a great need amongst people in a society where capitalism, especially late-stage capitalism, was leaving a lot of people behind. But Bernie Sanders, there's people on the far left that are equally as cultish. There are. If you look at some of the stuff that went on in Portland and Seattle, and, I love the Black Lives Matter protests in cities where there were no black people that just use that to just use it to create anarchy in their city. So I don't want to do a comparison, because political extremes, both are violent, both are armed, both in one form or another want to take over the government for their own particular political agendas. So it's kind of murky water when you compare. I mean, it's easy because I'm on the left to say, oh, the people on the right are bad. Yeah, you got some nutcases that are on the left, too, that are out of touch with the mainstream. But that's not what we're arguing now. The mid-range estimate, which is much more realistic, that the MAGA-branded products are between $200 and $300 million a year. That is based on recent data between 2024 and 2026. That means that Donald Trump has personally benefited to the tune of $2 to $3 billion. And the high-end estimate means, including the gray market and other licensed products that Donald Trump can benefit from, is roughly $5 billion. If he wasn't a billionaire before, and we don't believe he was, because if you were that rich, you would release your taxes. That was the first thing that he did that broke ranks with other presidents. They would release their taxes. I remember we gave Bill Clinton a bunch of grief when he released his taxes, and he donated a $2 pair of used underwear to Goodwill and actually wrote that off on his taxes, and people laughed at him about that. Trump was like, I'm not releasing my taxes because, I'm under an audit. Dude, you control the IRS, bro. Come on now. You're not being audited. I think he used the presidency as a marketing ploy to sell branded and themed products. And if he was not a billionaire before, just MAGA-branded merchandise has netted on the high end $5 billion. They do a comparison, because I got an article here. If Donald Trump's, if MAGA was its own corporation, its own company, it'd be a Fortune 1000 company, and it would be similar to Crocs. You guys wear Crocs? I don't wear Crocs. I hear they're comfortable. People put their Crocs in sport mode. I don't wear Crocs. But MAGA, if it was a company, would be comparable in revenue to Crocs or Yeti. They make drink cups. So Trump World, if it were its own company, would be in the Fortune 1000. It would make as much profit as the Crocs brand and as Yeti Holdings, which make the portable drink holders. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be back for Hour 3.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
May is Skilled Trades Month, a time to celebrate the hands-on careers that keep our industries and our communities moving forward. At Junior Achievement, students are discovering that today's skilled trades include technology, robotics, and smart manufacturing. With support from Rockwell Automation, students are exploring how advanced manufacturing and automation will power the factories of the future. Thank you, Rockwell, for helping inspire the next generation of technicians, engineers, and innovators. Learn more at ja.org.
In 1987, the Bucks took on the world and changed basketball forever.
At stake, basketball supremacy in the United States.
Bucks versus the World, narrated by Charlie Behrens, is the new season of Behind the Bucks podcast, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. It's the untold story of the 1987 McDonald's Open, when the Bucks became the first NBA team to face the Soviet Union. Listen now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts.
When I was diagnosed with Hodgkin lymphoma, I had so many questions. I didn't even know that it was cancer. Now I do. It is cancer. Blood cancer. It's actually one of more than 100 different types, and they're all treated differently. Now, unlike some other forms of cancer, usually there's no tumor. You can't screen for it to prevent it, and the symptoms can look like other things, so it could be hard to diagnose. I had a fever for weeks. I was so tired all the time. I didn't feel like eating or doing anything else for that matter. And I know that this can feel scary. But if you know what to look out for, you'll know what to tell your doctor. And you'll feel more empowered to take the next steps. Like getting in touch with the people who know the ins and outs and can help with everything blood cancer related. Blood Cancer United. They work one-on-one with each person who reaches out to answer questions and offer resources. Blood Cancer United was there for me, and they can be there for you.
Go to bloodcancerunited.org to learn more.
Teachers are dynamic leaders, shaping a new generation. They bring a variety of perspectives from diverse backgrounds, innovating how they teach to prepare students for our fast-changing world.
Achieving this takes skill and expertise. They're tireless explorers, creatively discovering a universe of solutions, telling stories, experimenting, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures, and connecting with each other, leading by example. Experience the unique joy of helping students thrive. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready to begin? Explore teaching at teach.org, a campaign supported by the U.S. Department of Education, Teach.org, and 1 million teachers of color.
Listen to the man who tells you exactly how he sees it. The Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris every weekday from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. on 101.7 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. More of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes is next on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Welcome to Hour 3 of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. Lyndon Johnson was right. If you can give the lowest white man and tell him that he is better than the best colored man, he won't notice you're picking his pocket. Hell, give him someone to look down on, and he'll empty his pockets for you. And I don't know if those words have ever been more true, because MAGA world is a multi-billion-dollar consumer empire. There used to be a real fundamental premise that probably every American in one form or fashion agreed on. We didn't want an American president to grift the American people and profit off of the office, because you got to have a lot of trust in this person who has control over the military, our economy, the people that are on the Federal Reserve, the banking industry, the Treasury, the IRS. You don't want someone, this is why I've always shied away from business professionals being in public office. The government is not supposed to generate a profit. And if it generates a profit, who's going to get the profit? You're not getting any of this money back. So let's say in some fantasy world, oh, I want to vote for someone who's got business experience. Somebody's going to profit. It's not you. Your schools aren't going to profit. Your neighborhood, your community is not going to profit. Very rarely, if governments are solvent, is that money going back to the people. You know where it goes in America? To the military. And I never understood people's affection for having a business leader also be the executive of the United States of America or of a state. They are going to generate revenue probably for companies and corporations and special interests that help get them in office. But I think in this example, we can take all the policy stuff and just put that aside, because people don't pay attention to this stuff anyway. Listen, I'll be honest with you. I still ain't read Project 2025 because I just don't want to. Because I'll read stuff and realize, oh, all of this that happened on page 97 happened last week Wednesday, and I'll go to page 98. Oh, look, that was what happened 2 weeks ago on Friday, and I read page 297 like, oh, that is how Donald Trump is selecting his cabinet secretaries. It would just make me more frustrated. He is making money off of a brand that he popularized by sowing division. And it allows him to continue with impunity and in perpetuity. Because imagine, here's what I'm worried about. Maybe I need to start collecting Trump stuff. Because eventually, life is going to catch up to the fella. Right? He's up there in age. Some would say he's fading quickly. A lot of times I think that's wishful thinking. You always see somebody saying, oh, Donald Trump only has 2 more years to live. He's showing signs of dementia. Dude may outlive all of us. He really wants that ballroom. Did I not bring that up earlier? Another reason why the assassination attempt was staged is because while he was giving a press conference after nearly losing his life, you would think he'd be really distraught. He found a way to bring up the ballroom by basically saying, well, if we had a ballroom, this wouldn't happen. Dude. The ballroom is not even going to be finished until 2029. Somebody got to help me understand this because I don't want to think the worst here. He's not going to be president when the ballroom is finished, but why are you... It's like I'm going to build an addition onto my house, but then I'm going to sell my house. The addition to my house is not going to be open and completed until 2028, but I'm selling my house next week. It doesn't make any damn sense why he is so adamant about a ballroom that he will not be able to enjoy because he would have since moved out of the house. We got to make sure he doesn't get a 3rd term. Anybody want to figure out, other than the obvious way, which I can't state because I don't want them people coming to visit me?
You don't think he's going to try to run for a 3rd term?
There's no, ballots won't be printed. States won't print ballots. I'm trying to figure out, there's some mechanism. So what would happen is this. And everybody was saying, if they try to create some scenario to where Trump could get a 3rd term if somebody was assassinated. I don't know how all of that worked out. But okay. It would have to be J.D. Vance runs for president. So, okay, J.D. Vance picks a running mate. Wins the presidency. J.D. Vance and whoever his vice presidential picket, let's say J.D. Vance and Marco Rubio, they're president and vice president. Marco Rubio would step down. No. J.D. Vance and Marco Rubio get elected president and vice president in 2028. Yes, Marco Rubio steps down. Donald Trump becomes vice president of the United States. Follow me. J.D. Vance resigns the presidency.
You're making it too complicated.
That's the only way it can happen because he can't get elected again. You can defeat the Constitution. It says no president having being elected twice. So some other Republican president, he can't run and win because states wouldn't print the ballots. And then they would sue in court. And by that time, all the lawsuits were resolved. The election would be over. So states would not, we wouldn't allow Donald Trump to appear. If the 7 battleground states banded together and did a federal lawsuit saying the Constitution is our guide, Donald Trump can't appear on this ballot because he's already been elected twice, he couldn't win. He couldn't get 270 electoral votes. So if just a small combination of states, like California and New York, those are blue states. Any other combination of battleground states where he can't get to 270 could keep him. He could run again, but his campaign wouldn't get anywhere. But he could legitimately be president for a 3rd term if he isn't elected. So J.D. Vance runs and wins. J.D. Vance selects somebody like Marco Rubio or Lindsey Graham to be his running mate. They get elected. And don't count that out because I'm not sure that the country may elect another Democrat because I don't know what our damn field is going to be, especially if Kamala Harris is leading in the polls. I like Kamala, but stop it, girl. Don't do it.
Do you remember when Vladimir Zelensky was here?
I got to get this out. So J.D. Vance and a running mate get elected. The vice president resigns. Donald Trump becomes vice president. And I think that, I don't know if J.D. Vance could appoint his own vice president after the resignation or if Congress would have to approve them. We'll figure that out when we get there. Now Donald Trump is the vice president of the United States. Then J.D. Vance would have to step down or resign, or maybe some other means in which J.D. Vance is no longer president. Then Donald Trump is president and would serve out the duration of J.D. Vance's term. That would be legal. That would be constitutional. Now, people would sue, but you can't sue the executive office of the United States government. And if it went to the Supreme Court, they would say he wasn't elected a third time. He was selected/appointed. That is the only legal way he could do it. And it's not that far-fetched because way worse things have happened. But a lot of this is going to fall onto the Democrats, who I fear may not be able to satisfy the political hunger that exists in a large swath of the country because policy is not delivering for the American people. At the end of the day, fuel prices are too expensive, groceries are too expensive, utilities are getting more expensive, our taxes are going up, the country is in a tremendous amount of debt, our education is unfunded, they're making more changes to the student loan forgiveness program where payments are going to balloon like they were a predatory mortgage. Things are going to get worse because the country is in a weird kind of limbo, and it's unfortunate because you have one political party controlling both houses of Congress, the presidency, and they have the courts. This is a very easy way for them to pass all sorts of economic relief measures for the country, but they are simply not doing that. And so all of the policy that is not getting passed to help the American people, there's still a demand for that policy, and it's all going to fall on the Democrats. And the Democrats are going to be so damn fragmented that they're just going to be beating up on one another because the country, I believe, is moving even further to the left. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but if Congress is not also moving to the left, then you're going to have a bunch of ideas that'll never get realized into policy. That's number one. Number two, some of the corruption that Donald Trump has been able to get away with zero consequence, Democrats are going to do the same thing. Because you know what they're going to say? Well, Trump, he invaded a country. Why can't I invade somebody? Well, Trump didn't have to report his taxes. I don't want to. Well, Trump had an NFT and a digital token. I want some of the grifting is now a permanent part of American politics. It's really, really hard to put the toothpaste back into the tube. Once corruption has been accepted by the American people, I think we just kind of look past it. So an example would be, and I don't know who the hell the Democratic nominee is going to be in 2028, and it's impossible to predict. I mean, we've got the usual suspects, of course, but we also don't know where the nation is going to be, like, economically. We don't know where the war is going to be. We don't know what's going to be happening 6 months from now, let alone 2 years from now. And so wherever we are at as a nation is going to give us a much better idea of what kind of Democrat could even be competitive. And let's say a Democrat does win in 2028. That would be nice if they did. And if they wanted to sell a little merchandise on the side, you think that I would care? Hell, I might even buy a hat. Gavin Newsom. Who else? There's a black guy. Wes Moore from Maryland. I don't want another black one. I don't want another. Please don't. I'm not ready for the fallout. Because America wouldn't just say, oh, look, blacks are making progress. They get real mad. And I'm not saying that we should stop making progress because you can't stop black progress even if you tried. But there's always a reverberation. There's always going to be a backlash. And I don't need a black president. I would prefer a white one because there's things that we can do and gatekeep the black vote from a white president or presidential candidate that we can't do with black folks. All the black folks have to do, the black candidate has to do is show up at a black church and just make people sway and clap. And that's really all they got to do. A white candidate would have to put in crazy work and have to hire tons of staff and pay a lot of people to be campaign organizers. Where a black candidate could just be like, hey, black people, volunteer for my campaign because I'm black like you. They could probably run on hope. And no, I don't want Barack Obama to run again because people have floated that, if Donald Trump can run again for a third term, then Barack Obama should run. We use Barack Obama for all he was worth. Why would he want to come back to this? He left us in better shape than when his term started. And you can't argue with that. The jobs that we were losing versus the jobs that were created, we were in better shape economically, financially. Unemployment was low. Him and Biden created 15 million jobs. We had the Affordable Care Act. The economy was doing okay. The home foreclosure crisis was mitigated. Banks were lending again. Our automakers weren't going belly up. GM was doing well. Chrysler was doing well. Ford was doing a little bit better. Barack Obama's like, I did my thing. I made the country better. Now the country, I would argue, is in worse shape. Why do we want to bring Barack Obama back? Why you got to have a black man playing cleanup all the time? We don't like to be America's political janitor. I hope Barack Obama has a very cute young girlfriend. Because I'm be honest with y'all, I don't trust Michelle. Michelle has been very mean to Barack Obama, saying that she didn't like him for 10 years. Barack Obama was at a whole bunch of public events by himself. I think that's very embarrassing. Melania hates Donald Trump, but she's still with him at every event. I don't like what Michelle is doing to my guy. You know what I mean? She didn't go to... Who died? Jimmy Carter? She didn't go to Jimmy Carter's funeral. She didn't go to Trump's inauguration, which I get it, but still, you're the former first lady, and this is a part of the peaceful transfer of power. Jill and Joe Biden was there. If anybody had a reason to not go to Trump's inauguration, it was Joe and Jill. They were there. Barack was there by himself. And then there was another event, a high-profile event that Michelle didn't go to, and she basically said, I had other stuff to do. What? There was an Olympics. Was there an Olympics during Obama's term? There had to have been. And there was like the queen of you guys remember this? The queen of Finland, some white queen that was sitting next to Barack. So it was Barack, Michelle, and this European princess from one of the Scandinavian countries. Denmark, Norway, Sweden, Finland, one of them. And then so she's a Caucasian woman, obviously. And her and Barack Obama was giggling and yucking it up and cooing and keying. And then Michelle made them switch seats to where Michelle now had to sit between Barack and the European princess. I was like, come on, man. Let Barack sit next to the white princess. What's wrong with that? Well, you ain't got to be insecure. I don't got no problem. So I hope Barack Obama has a very pretty girlfriend. I'm not saying he should divorce Michelle. I'm not saying that because we don't like divorce. He just needs, because he was very good to us. I don't got no complaints about Barack Obama, and if I have them, they're manufactured because he worked in a climate that most of us could never relate to every single day. They even talked about the man's tan suit. I went out and got me a tan suit because Barack Obama looked so good in his. We don't even know. We could never understand. To think that he didn't deal with the kind of racism. He was given a State of the Union address, and one of the members of Congress goes like, you lie! You don't do that. That's not nice to do that. So he dealt with a lot. He deserves to have a nice little young... What about Barack Obama and Megan Thee Stallion? No? Megan is the problem. Can we agree on that? Yeah, Megan Thee Stallion is... She got cheated on because she probably deserved it. Why do we not think that women can't be the problem ever? Women know that women can be the problem because some women won't even be friends with other women because women are the problem. But for some reason, when it comes to a man, the man is always the problem and a woman is not. Well, X, you date all sorts of hot women with 800 credit scores.
I never said 800 credit score, but...
Oh, better than 400, though.
Yeah, hopefully.
You got to be at least...
College-educated women,
Nah, sometimes I don't mean nothing. I wish it did. Well, it's better to be college educated than not. Most of the time. You need probably I could work with about a 720 credit score. We could do something with a 720. You know what I mean? 750, we're starting to look a little bit better. Right? If you're in 800s, well, then we can really have a conversation. But at least I need a 720 at least. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, exclusively on 101.7 FM in Milwaukee. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, it's your boy Tory Lowe, and I need to let you know the award-winning Tory Lowe Show can now be streamed live on YouTube. How? Every day from 1 to 4. Truth Nation, I am now bringing all the smoke on YouTube every single weekday. Hey, how? I need you to go to YouTube right now and subscribe to 1017 The Truth and check out the award-winning Tory Lowe Show live every afternoon. Milwaukee Black Talk is now streaming live on YouTube. Now that's powerful.
Join Cousins Club Rewards today. Grab your first sub and your next one could be free. After your first qualifying purchase, you'll earn a free sub and start collecting points for free food, exclusive deals, and even Cousins gear. Sign up today. It's fast and easier than ever on the Cousins Subs app. Earn points online, on the app, or in store. However you enjoy Cousins Subs, your rewards are right at your fingertips. Cousins Subs. We believe in better.
At UW Credit Union, our home loans have everything you need for your next big step, including up to $750 off closing costs for all home buyers. And first-time buyers can save even more. So if you're ready to trade roomies for more room, or your townhome for an out-of-town home, UW Credit Union will be with you from start to furnished. UW Credit Union. Apply online today. Equal housing lender. Credit may be limited as required by program. Visit uwcu.org for details.
When you get a diagnosis of Parkinson's disease, things get real.
And nobody understands that better than the Parkinson's Foundation. All across the country, we provide resources and support in the fight against Parkinson's, a neurological disease that affects movement.
The Parkinson's Foundation is dedicated to improving care and advancing research towards a cure.
And when you call our helpline, you'll speak to a real person who can help you find the right information. Because while living with Parkinson's can be challenging, there are things you can do to improve your quality of life. So, whether you're newly diagnosed, have been living with Parkinson's for years, or caring for a loved one,
when Parkinson's gets real, find real answers at the Parkinson's Foundation.
Go to parkinson.org or call our helpline at 1-800-4PD-INFO, 1-800-473-4636. The Parkinson's Foundation. Better lives together.
Wisconsin is as hard-working of a place as you'll ever find. People here are tough, but even the toughest among us need help after a serious accident. At Gruber Law Offices, we won't stop fighting for you and your family. One call, that's all.
When your team needs custom gear, don't wing it. Big Frog Custom T-Shirts and More is your local partner for high-quality apparel with hands-on design help and services that actually feel, well, helpful. For your business, teams, or events, Big Frog makes it easy. Visit bigfrog.com/Mequon today.
More of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Join me every Friday at 11 a.m. for the Milwaukee Experience with Sherwin Hughes, presented by Visit Milwaukee. This is a city that knows how to celebrate, where the calendar is packed with festivals and the plates are piled high with flavor, and the lakefront sunrises set the stage for unforgettable days. The Milwaukee Experience every Friday at 11 a.m. exclusively on The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, presented by Visit Milwaukee. All right, we're giving away a bunch of stuff today. We're going to do the last Gruber $5,000 giveaway entry, at least on my show. We'll probably do another one tomorrow on Kyle's show. And then I'd imagine Thursday, Tori's show. And then Friday, we're giving away the $5,000. We're also going to give away a pair of tickets to Tacos and Tequila Fest at Franklin Field. All your hip-hop favorites are going to be there. Shaggy, Rick Ross, Genuine, Ride It My Pony, Soulja Boy. Is Soulja Boy still cranking that hoe? Frankie J. I don't know any songs by Frankie J. I don't know any song by Mims either, at least not off the top of my head. So stay tuned to get a pair of tickets to Taco and Tequila Fest. Got Al. Oh, hang on a second, Al. There was something else. Do I have everything I need right now? What is this here? Oh, I do got some more stuff for you. 59% of Trump supporters say increasing immigration will make life worse for people like them. Only 11% of Democratic voters say the same. 48% of white Trump supporters are okay hearing other languages being spoken in public. 92% of Democratic voters are okay with hearing other languages other than English in public. Do y'all get triggered when you hear somebody speak another language? I always listen like I know what they're saying. Like if I hear somebody speaking another language, I kind of lean in. I'm like, oh, and I smile. Because they don't know. You don't know if I speak Arabic. Bismillah al-Rahman ar-Rahim. That's some Arabic. What else do I know? Aloha. Hola, that's Spanish. The Germans say, how do the Germans say hello? They got a bunch of ways to say hello.
Guten Tag.
Ah, there you go. Good day. Guten Tag. Guten Abend, that's good evening. I speak languages. I know many different ways to talk. 27% of Trump supporters say slavery still affects black people. 73% of Trump supporters said slavery has zero impact on black people. That's horrible. What do the Democrats say? 79% of Democratic voters say slavery still has effects to this day. 75% of Trump supporters say slavery's legacy has little to no impact. Let's talk to Al. Hey, Al, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good. Well, my thing is if the Republicans are against immigration, maybe stop eating tacos. Maybe take your white goddamn ass and go pick that MF and fruit bee if you against it. Because I know y'all hurling and slipping down oranges, grapes, cherries, dragon fruit and all that, vegetables and all that stuff. But I got a question, 2 questions for you and your producer. What's your producer name?
Xavier. Can I say your last name,
okay,
Xavier?
Well,
no, I can't say his last name.
Okay, well, welcome, Xavier. My first question is, do you feel that the Republicans are real worrisome? Like that neighbor who always coming to your door asking for $10 for a prescription when he's really buying dope? And then my second question to you and Andrew, because I hear y'all talk about credit score. Xavier. Okay, I want to make sure I pronounce that right. I heard you talking about credit score. The word on the street is they say a man that's about to be homeless and a woman that's on food stamps F better than somebody who works.
Absolutely.
How y'all feel about those 2 questions?
Can you repeat the first question for me? I don't know if I've thoroughly understood. I want to make sure I get it right.
Okay, the first question is, do you feel the Republicans are very worrisome, just like that neighbor who always knocking on your door asking for $10 for a prescription when he's really always buying dope? Or like the neighborhood alcoholic. They just worrisome. It's never a dull moment. It's always something. Something is always going.
That's true.
It's always something.
Like they'll ask for one thing and say they're going to do one thing but end up doing another. You're right. They'll say they're for law and order, but they'll break the law. They'll be corrupt and they'll have sex with kids. No, you're right. They are like that neighbor that's asking for $10 to say that they need to, buy a meal, but they're going to go buy some crack rock.
Yeah, because see, what I thought was like, because, some people used to say, well, that can be Jesus in disguise. So I used to always say, well, if that's Jesus in disguise and I follow him to the dope house, does that mean Jesus got to repent?
I don't want to answer
Are those
that.
questions for us?
I don't know.
I think.
And then, and what about the other question, Xavier, about do you feel that a man that's about to be homeless and a woman that's on food stamps F better than somebody who goes to work?
I don't think I've slept with someone that's on food stamps or about to be homeless.
You wouldn't know.
I wouldn't know, yes.
Sometimes that's the only thing they're good at.
Yeah. I don't know. That's so. But with the Republicans, I think there's a whole bunch of hypocrites, and most of the leadership are drug addicts and they're closeted gays.
Oh, yeah. I believe that for sure. Like Lindsey Graham is just flaming.
Yeah.
Yeah, he loves penis.
All right,
A lot of others.
All right, well, I just want to say thank you to the both of y'all, and y'all have yourself a good day.
All right.
And go crack a taco.
Yes,
all right, bye-bye.
Crack a taco. Love that feeling. Extra sour cream for me. Tacos and Tequila Fest is back May 30th with performances by Shaggy, Rick Ross, Genuine Soulja Boy, Frankie J, Mims, and more. Right now is your chance to win a pair of tickets to Tacos and Tequila Festival at Franklin Field Saturday, May 30th. Call us at 833-212-1017, 833-212-1017. We'll take call number 7. You win a pair of tickets to Tacos and Tequila Festival. Speaking of tacos, May 30th, that's on a Saturday, we're going to give you a pair of tickets. Caller number 7 at 833-212-1017 to win tickets to Taco and Tequila Festival live at Franklin Field. Call number 7 gets a pair of tickets. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. We'll be right back.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 10 and 35%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on the way you purchase insurance and by state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
It's a spring thing, Milwaukee. Join us Saturday, May 2nd from 11 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. at Embassy Center, MKE, 3725 North Sherman Boulevard. This free family community resource fair is for ages 0 to 100. Get free diapers, baby wipes, groceries, haircuts while supplies last. Don't miss baby food prep classes and powerful maternal health speakers, Bishop Walter Harvey and Dalvery Blackwell. Doors open at 10:30. Come early. It's a spring thing. Don't miss it.
Tap into the best power hour in radio in Milwaukee.
So altogether, you're looking at $1,780 for your mortgage and for your property taxes in a year. And that's before you have to deal with, obviously, your water bill and electric bill. That's a steep price that people have to pay. And based off those numbers I just ran, to afford a home like that, you got to make $65,000 a year. But the problem is, here in Milwaukee, the median household income is only $54,234. That's out of whack. So again, I am all about affordability. I'm all about people getting homes. But what we have to understand is that until homes are more affordable, you can have a supply and demand problem. But the problem that we have here in the city of Milwaukee is that these prices, when people are listing these houses, they're listing them for prices that people really can't afford. And even if you do get the house and you're paying that, you're living paycheck to paycheck. Home ownership is not about living paycheck to paycheck. Home ownership is about finding something that fits within your budget and building equity for the future.
Catch Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace every weekday from noon to 1 p.m. on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app.
Real talent is defined by what people can do, not where they learn to do it. So by stopping at the education section of a resume, you might throw away the perfect hire. You might miss someone who has valuable skills to offer to help your business thrive right now and in the future. Because the truth is this: Skills First Hiring helps you see talent others miss, like more than 70 million stars, skilled through alternative routes. When you let their story unfold, you gain a competitive advantage, because hiring managers who start with skills are 60% more likely to find a successful hire. See the real person, complete. See what others miss. Hire skills first. Learn why it's a competitive advantage at tearthepaperceiling.org. Brought to you by Opportunity at Work and the Ad Council.
More of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Met her on a Tuesday night, boots tapping the wooden floor.
You like country music, X?
No.
Her laugh was a wildfire burning.
What about blues?
I like jazz and blues. That's what I grew
Swore
up
I'd
on.
seen her before.
You ever heard this one before?
She had whiskey on her lips,
No, not this.
danger in her smile. Whiskey on her lips.
I know you ain't heard it before because this is AI. I did this.
Oh, makes sense then.
This me. And then I got bored making AI music because I've made so many damn hits. I'm like, well, there's nothing else to accomplish here.
You're not gonna make another album?
Now I'm feeling blue.
I don't think I can because the genius that I put out there with Blue Mist. Zach actually covered this song on the bass. It's a classic. It's a hit. Who is this calling me? Yeah, I want to grab this phone call. Can I grab line 2? Hello.
Hey, is this Truth Radio?
Yes. Do you have a question or a comment? What do you want to say?
Just a comment. This is Sherwin. Sherwin, we have heard it before because you played a few weeks ago.
Yeah, you've heard it before, but my producer hasn't.
Oh, all right then. Good point. Have a good day.
All right then. You too. I haven't played in a long time. It's been months.
Yeah, I've definitely been your producer for more than, 2 months right now?
No.
Maybe a month.
I just hope that when I come in to work every day, I just hope there's somebody in that room. I can't even really ask who's in there. I just need it to be a person. There's been women in there.
How did that work out? Some would say you're misogynistic.
Oh, they can say whatever they want. Carrie was good. Rhea, I was familiar with. It took a little bit longer of a time for Rhea and I to catch our groove, and then when we caught it, she went over to the other radio station. I mean, it's all right. I don't mind.
She's on another radio station now?
Well, she was. So she was my producer, and then she went to TMJ for like a year. Then she came back here, and now not here anymore. There's turnover in this industry, I suppose. But no, I think any woman could probably accuse a man of being, what's the word? Misogynistic. But then there's a lot of women that are misandrous. They don't like men, which I don't even care. I don't get offended when women are like, yeah, women's rights. I'm like, absolutely. Go ahead, girl. Because I don't lose anything when a woman can, I don't know, vote. I love it when women make money. I would be with a woman that makes more money than me with no problem. I'll be a kept man. Just do my radio show every day and come home and just be a house husband? Sure. I'll cook. I'll clean.
That's the life right there. I don't know why people would be mad about that.
No, not at all. Let her go out there in the world and deal with all of the corporate greed and trials and tribulations of office politics. No. I'll wear an apron. I'm like, hi, honey. Welcome home. I just made a souffle. I made your favorite casserole.
Then you can take half if you get divorced. Because you're not the breadwinner.
I don't want it. I know a lot of people say that, like, oh, I don't want a prenup. If our relationship ends, I forgot I'm married. So me and my wife don't have a prenup. Because if the relationship ends, whatever causes the relationship to end, I don't want anything from you. That money would be dirty to me. Because if I don't want to be married to you no more, if I don't like you no more, if I don't love you no more, I don't want your money. I'm not that greedy and vindictive where, oh yeah, you're going to pay me alimony. You can take your money and shove it straight up your John Brown hind parts. I don't want it. I ain't going to be broke just because I'm not getting money from you.
So if Oprah's your ex-wife, you don't want half of her money?
I'm going to live so good. I'm going to stash so much money while I'm with her that I don't need constant payments from a woman I no longer love. Because that's just foul. I know some people can't survive without their spouse's money. I dated a woman who was receiving alimony, and she and I, this was years ago, we talked about marriage. She was like, well, we can't get married for like 10 more years because that's when my alimony expires. She was like, if I get married, the alimony cuts out. She was like, I want all 10 years of my alimony. I was like, I'm not going to wait for you for that long. She's
Good
like,
businesswoman, that's side. Was it a lot of money?
No. Not life-changing money. She just wanted to be a jerk. That's all it was. But she's like, oh, I stayed home and raised the kids, and he went out in the world, and he got all these promotions, and I'm entitled to some of that money. All I could think of, you were not shooting in the gym. And she wanted them damn kids. And gonna get mad she got to stay home with kids that she wanted, and now she's entitled to money from him because he didn't even want kids because I met him. It was a very rare occasion that you talked to the ex of someone that you did. And he was actually really cool because he looked like relieved. He was like, oh, yeah, I see you're dating so-and-so. Yeah, we're married. We got great kids and, blah, 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 blah. And then he kind of disclosed some things to me. And I was like, oh.
Eskimo bros.
Yeah, I think a lot of us are actually Eskimo bros in this town.
Probably. I don't know.
But I also have him to thank. Because he taught her how to do tricks. You know what I mean?
Oh, what kind of tricks?
You are, man, listen to me. Had me singing soprano. Yeah, I'm telling you, man. I was like, hey, man, did you teach her how to do that flipsy doozy? It was like, oh, the flipsy doozy. Oh, yes. That goes back to our honeymoon. I was like, word. I was like, she's real good at the flipsy doozy now. He's like, I bet. So no, it was just two dudes, you know what I mean? Just hanging out, talking about women. And he was very cool because why would he have any reason to be angry and jealous? He was like, I left her. Well, I shouldn't say he said he left her, but if you ask him, he would say he's the reason why they're no longer together, which is cool. All right, we got to give away some chance to win $5,000. Is this person's name? Is this their real name? Whoever you're talking to, can I talk to him? I know they want to always talk to the producer. All right. Is it a call? Should I be worried? We already gave him away. Who is this?
This is Renee.
Hi, Renee. How are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good, Renee. Renee, I like the way you sound.
Thank you.
So what are you doing right now?
I'm at work.
Oh, yeah? What do you do for work?
Yes. I administrative work.
Okay. All right. Do you like it?
Yes, it's good.
All right. Do you live in the Milwaukee area?
Yes, I do.
What do you do for fun?
I don't go out much, but once in a while. My girlfriend and I were going to see the Michael movie today.
When you say girlfriend?
My friend. Don't.
No, I'm just.
I don't know why people think that way nowadays.
You gotta ask, and I'm just trying to be respectful, Renee. So
I'm heterosexual, but it's my friend.
Ain't nothing wrong. All right then. Okay. You married?
No, I'm a widow.
Oh, I feel bad now. I'm sorry. When did he pass?
No, that's okay. 4 years ago.
You doing okay?
Yeah, I'm doing fine.
All right. You started dating yet? It's hard out there. It's rough. Serious. Okay.
It's very hard out here. Yeah, it's different. It's a different time now. So, I have a lot of offers, but no, nothing serious. Nothing. Yeah. People want to go fast nowadays.
Yes, they do.
I'm not for that. Yeah.
So you have a lot of offers, so you must be attractive.
Well, I'm semi-attractive, yes.
Now would be the time I probably should get off of the phone because I have work to do right now still.
And I do have work as well.
Why don't you call back sometime?
I sure will. Yeah, I wanted to talk to you about a couple of things that you have mentioned over the air before.
Yeah, we can talk about it all. When you want to talk about it, we can talk about it now. We can talk about it. Just let me know when you want to talk about it. Send a little text message to the text message line. We'll talk all about it.
Okay, sounds good. I will.
All right, now. Have a good day. Oh, you too. Have a better day. All right, then.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Don't listen. She sound good, didn't she?
It sounded
Just said she was a widow. I said, oh, no.
There you go, Sherwin. Don't block your blessings, right?
Let's give away this Gruber entry before I get myself in trouble. Gotta play the sound. You gotta get your life together, Xavier. You over here shook by Renee. Renee had that voice.
Yeah, I'm a bit off.
One call, that's all.
Now's your chance to be our one call, that's all. $5,000 giveaway entry for the day. That's right. We're going to enter you to win $5,000 this Friday. We'll take call number 8 at 833-212-1017. You'll be entered to win $5,000. The giveaway is this Friday on my show. Again, call number 8. At 833-212-1017. Remember, if you or a loved one has been injured in an accident, contact Gruber Law Offices today. Visit them online at gruber-law.com. For official contest rules, visit 1017thetruth.com. Call number 8 gets entered to win $5,000 this Friday on The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. And The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Coming with straight truth.
Did you go along with this? Did you plot this out? Did you go into the store with the intentions of causing a negative situation? This is the part that people don't like once they get into court after they get caught. Now, should he be executed for killing somebody he didn't do? I don't think so. He's already serving life. He's going to die in prison. I think that's what's going to happen. At the same time, this is a message to the younger folks.
Catch the Tory Lowe Show every weekday from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m.
Hi, I'm attorney David Gruber. After an accident, you need a trusted winning team on your side. For more than 30 years, Gruber Law Offices has helped Wisconsin families get the results they deserve. If you've been injured, call our firm today for a free consultation. We're available 24/7. Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices, proud partner of your Milwaukee Brewers. One call, that's all.
In Milwaukee County, equity means making sure everyone has a real chance to thrive. That's why the Milwaukee County Office of Equity works to help remove barriers, strengthen community connections, and support fair access to opportunities across Milwaukee County. Want to learn what they do, explore resources, or find ways to get involved? Just search Milwaukee County Office of Equity online. Milwaukee County Office of Equity, advancing equity for all Milwaukee County residents. For more information, search Milwaukee County Office of Equity online.
You're a hard worker. Provide for your family and help out in your community. You've been there for so many others. But when life challenges you, when rising costs, unexpected repairs, medical bills, or simply a rough stretch make it hard to keep up on a limited or low income, you're not alone. Your local Wisconsin energy and emergency assistance providers are here for you, working together to keep you safely in your home and your heat and power on. If you're struggling with high utility bills, facing a disconnect notice, or dealing with a furnace emergency and your limited or low income isn't enough, support is available. Visit www.heat.help or call 1-800-506-5596 to apply for a hand up.
More of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Late night glow, the moon don't lie.
It's probably a very bad idea. Let's see who this person is. Hello.
Hello, am I caller number 8?
No.
Okay.
All right.
Do you have your winner already?
Yes, we do. Thank you for trying. You can try again tomorrow on the Truth to Power show with Kyle Wallace.
Okay, thank you. You have a blessed day, okay?
All right, then. Now you too have a blessed day.
Bye.
All right, bye-bye. Let's see here. Hello.
Hello? Am I caller? Did I win?
No. Sorry.
It's Sherwin?
Yeah, this Sherwin.
Sherwin?
Yeah, this me.
What's up? What's up, buddy?
What's going on?
Oh, your show, man. I still haven't met you yet. I'm going to come to one of your little gigs out here. And I got to meet you, man, because you're pretty good host, man.
Thank you.
Kind of remind me of myself.
Of course I do. Of course.
You know what I mean?
All right. I know what you mean. Well, I look forward to meeting you one day.
Oh, Billy C, man, you're going to meet me. I'm going to come in, and I'm an old head. And I think you stole a lot of my wits because I was like that when I was about your age 20 years ago.
Well, I'm sorry I stole your wits, but I'm putting them to good use, Billy C.
You certainly are. You know what? You might be a little bit better than me, just a little bit.
What?
You know, because the times are different now.
Okay.
Word.
Were you ever on the radio,
Yeah.
Billy C?
Back in college in Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
Oh.
KAUR.
Oh.
Back in the 80s.
KAUR? Oh, I never heard of it.
See, you just done it again. You are good, man.
I learned from
You
the
are
best,
good.
Billy C. Learn from the best.
Yeah. Yes, you do. But it's hard work, so I give you a lot of kudos. You know, especially in your earlier career. You came a long way, buddy, and you're probably the best that's out here.
Oh, that's a
in
very
my
nice
opinion.
thing to say. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm going to meet you at one of your gigs, and you take care, buddy. Keep up the good work.
All right. Thank you very much.
All right. Take care.
Okay, then. Still not call number 8, though. So, like he gave me a compliment and then had to say, you remind me a lot of myself. Well, that's a nice thing to say. It was tougher in the early days because there were some shows, believe it or not, when there was just nothing to complain about. You'd have to manufacture something that would make good talk radio. Now, really since COVID, the world has just frayed in so many unpredictable and sad directions. There's always talk radio fodder. But there were days where Barack Obama you didn't even care what he was doing because you knew he was doing the right thing. There was no scandal. There was no major corruption. There were no women coming out of the woodwork saying that Barack Obama sexually assaulted them. There was no accusations of elections being stolen. I don't know if we just didn't care about the border. It wasn't that big of a deal, even though Barack Obama deported a lot more people than Trump did. He did it very quietly. There just wasn't the amount of happenings in which we can create content and make material. Now I can just look at what Trump did this morning. I guess King Charles is here. King Charles, who doesn't agree with Trump on much, the war in Iran, our lack of funding for our allies over in Ukraine. Prince Charles is here, I don't know, trying to smooth things over or whatever. I don't care much for the royals. I know that Americans are very fascinated by the royal family. I am not. We broke away from that country, but still kept the vestiges of slavery for another 100 years, so that's not cool. Also, where do you think white supremacy comes from? The Anglo-Saxon. It comes from the Church of England. It's why we call the Middle East, because it's in the middle from England. It's why we call the Asian countries the Far East, because it's far away from England. We still refer to England and the Anglo-Saxons as the middle of the universe. In fact, even how we tell time, right? Greenwich Mean Time and the time zone that we are in is based upon a latitude or a longitude line that goes through damn England. England is not even that important. Not really since the Beatles. And can I just say something about the Beatles real quick? I know some of y'all are going to get angry, but it needs to be said. The most overrated musical group in all of human history. Thank you. Look at the audience just going nuts. Man, put your shirt back on. Renee, is that you? Renee sounded good. I'm going to play that part of the show back.
I think you're in love.
I'm a sucker for a good voice. She's just like, am I caller number 8? I want her to be caller number 8 so bad.
Well, hopefully she texts her number into you.
Call number 69. That'd take a while to get. How long do you think it take to get call number 69?
It was a lot of callers today.
It was a lot. Oh, it'll probably take about 10, 15 minutes. One day I'm going to challenge you. One day it's going to be call number 69. That's going to be the lucky winner. All right, did I cover it all today? I think so. It was staged. There's a picture that I posted. Donald Trump was standing behind the curtain just off the stage at the White House Correspondents' Dinner watching all of the chaos ensue. Ladies and gentlemen, just use your common sense for a moment. If there was a legitimate, incredible threat to the president's life, wouldn't the Secret Service have an obligation to usher the president out of the building and into the motorcade? His vehicle is called the Beast because it's very bulletproof. Why wouldn't they want to usher him to safety? He was behind the curtain, and you could see him looking out over the crowd as over 1,000 people were running and scattering and ducking. I think he loves the chaos, and that's why I think that this whole thing was staged. You may have your own thoughts, feelings, and opinions, but like we do on this show, Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. until noon, we present the objective facts. Thank you for listening. I'll see you next time.
Come in with straight truth.
If you acted up, if you were out here doing any kind of foolishness or just something that people know would make your family's name look bad, you're